type of weapon is a normal waste. But I can see you ain't got a clue, so be a good detective and get on the case. Sit on that couch and don't mind if you success. Ain't call fake. Y'all the type that don't try to break, but know that I'm the type that ain't trying to wait. I'm close and I've been hanging. I turn my speakers up and then I just start swinging. Sometimes I get behind the wheel, then I start to steer. Don't know where I'm going, but just get me out of here. Yeah, so I've been hanging. I feel the breeze and you be feeling so amazing. See, baby, I'm just trying to live, and I got stress for real. So I try to talk because of how it made me feel. Oh no, money don't make it really get stressing. You get soon, mess around and lose your best. Get your heart broken and bruise your chest. Peace won't guarantee the room is rest. You little girl trying to find room to sex, or you trying to figure what dude is next. Some people gotta get bad news depressed, but even winners gotta find new success. Meditate and it's better away. Next stop on the map is a better day. The times was never great. Put the past in the past and just let it change. The past is out with your head of lay. Well, I'm on the route to the getaway. The truth ain't what she's getting.
Mic check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Touchdown, Cashion Wildcats.
Check, check. 1 2. Check, check. Yep, need to turn it down. Check, check. 1 2.
Check, check, 1 2. Check, check, 1 2. 1 2 1 2. 1 2. Check, check, check. Yep.
There's another great song picked just for you right here on your home for Cashion Athletics. This is Game Time. Wildcats hosting the Dibble Demons tonight here at Maxson Field. The OSSAA playoffs underway tonight. First round game between these two teams. The winner takes on the winner of Hooker and Boone Apache next Friday. We want to welcome all of our military veterans on Veterans Appreciation Night. We can never thank you enough for your service to our country. Thank you for all you have done. We've got more music on the way. You are listening to Game Time.
Leave it on the field and on the scoreboard. There is no tomorrow. This is the playoffs. This is Game Time.
Welcome to Cashion Wildcat Television Playoff Football as the Cashion Wildcats, #1 ranked in Class A, taking on the visiting Dibble Demons. Thank you for my man Dirk Fifton with the extra good luck pinch there tonight. We are super pleased to be bringing you 2021 playoff football here as the Cashion Wildcats at home, round one. I'm Eamon Ababi, joining me here in the, I would say, very comfortable booth.
Very comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Got a Nazi toasty.
The number one color guy in the state, my man Chris Gibson, and of course, extraordinary man Drew Baker. We appreciate you guys joining us. We had 8,000 last week join us as the Cashion Wildcats moved to 9-1, beating the Crescent Tigers 40-8 as they essentially clinched their 4th straight district championship. And it's going to be a great night
hold on
tonight,
1 second.
As the Cashion Wildcats move on to round one of the playoffs, taking on the 5-5 Dibble Demons, coached by Coach Richard Norman. The Demons.
Hold on just a second.
Well, hang on a second. Okay.
Little technical difficulty.
What
Hold
happened?
on. Well, we can hear. Okay, I think we're good.
Okay, so let's we'll switch. it.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I can hear the broadcast
Okay.
in my ear. Sorry.
Hey, and if you haven't joined us, the folks from the fine folks from Dibble, if you've just started joining us today, haven't watched this is Cashion Wildcats TV. It is Homer Television for all things Cashion Wildcats. We'll try our best to make sure that this is an entertaining and very positive experience for everyone. Hopefully, it'll be most positive as the Cashion Wildcats look to move to 10-1. Again, last week, Cashion beating Crescent rival War 74, 40-8. It was Ben Harmon, 17 for 22 for 233 yards, 4 touchdowns. Nick Nabavi, 8 carries, 114 yards, and 2 TDs. The Cashion Wildcats definitely take care of business. We do have an accelerated, if you've noticed the speed is kind of picked up here, we do have an accelerated pregame here today as we've got a monster pregame and halftime for you dedicated to all those veterans. And tonight is the Rough Riders night. And before we jump into tonight's game, I thought we'd throw it back out to my man Drew Baker to kind of set up the theme for tonight, as we've got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as we know, Thursday this week was Veterans Day, and the Rough Rider story that Chad's going to read over the loudspeaker before the game is Cashion was named after a guy named Roy Cashion, who was the first Oklahoman to die on foreign soil with Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders overseas. There's a statue of him in Hennessy where he was born. We're named after him. So as you can see on the field, they painted the paw in the middle, red, white, and blue with stars on it. There's some star decals on our helmets if you get a chance to see them. There's Rough Rider decals that are American flag. And pregame, before we get started with kickoff, they're going to bring veterans from both Dibble and Cashion out onto the field. Make that pretty special. And then Chad Tishner, like I said, is going to share the Rough Rider story. And then at halftime, we usually do lessons with Lane, but this week we've got a pretty special guest, Major General Ricky G. Adams, who I'm going to get to talk to and get to talk to him. I read over his resume and his accomplishments before I came up here, and you couldn't have fit it all on one notebook sheet of paper. So he's going to be really interesting to talk to from what I know.
He's been a busy man.
Been a busy man. I mean, a crazy, illustrious career, many accomplishments and awards and accommodations. So that's going to be really exciting. I'm excited to do that. So, yeah, pretty good Veterans Day celebration going on this week.
Very nice. We appreciate it. And there's the paw there. I know Coach Wood and the group are working hard on that. It's beautiful. Great sight. My man Mark Parrott doing his job listening upstairs through the production. And there's the helmet as the Cashion Wildcats at home will be wearing white, but have a Rough Rider emblem on the side. As you know, Coach Shaq and essentially his uniform combinations are immense. And today's another great night as we'll be honoring, again, the Rough Riders with that great American flag stripe down the middle and the Rough Riders emblem on the side of the helmet tonight. Hey, in terms of just playoff football, Chris and Drew, I know you guys are excited. This is we should never take these days for granted whatsoever.
Absolutely not. These are one-game seasons right here. Tonight, you either move on to the next round or you go to basketball season. So that's what kind of Shaq said. He said he loves it because it's a one-game season. Everybody's record is 0-1 or 0-0 right now. So after tonight, it'll be a great night for some people across the state, and it'll be a sad night for others.
Yeah. I mean, the excitement and everything at the very beginning of the football season, you can't beat that, right? Other than playoff football, because, hey, like you said, win or go home, time to take care of business, boys, and move to the next round.
Yeah, so Cashion, again, I believe this is Coach Shaq's 16th season and 16th appearance in the playoffs. I'm guessing that's correct. Pretty close.
Cashion Football Facts was throwing out some interesting stuff about, Cashion hasn't gone 500 or lower in 17 seasons or something like that.
Crazy.
Unbelievable.
To talk on your playoff deal, I texted Coach Shaq this week in our coaches interview. We can kind of throw that in there throughout the deal. Cashion has made the playoffs every year that he has been a head coach here, and there's only been they've won a game every single year except for one. First year in 11-man, Caden Cochran got hurt in Hennessy, and that killed them in the first round. That was the only year since Shaq has been here they haven't won at least the first round in playoffs.
Yeah, Caden was a little important that year.
A little bit.
So again, Cashion Wildcats moving on to the playoffs. 30 is, I believe, thanks to Coach Clayton Harmon coming in, letting us know 31st year in the playoffs. Certainly have done well. Have had 8-5 in the semifinals. Have had essentially a ton of opportunities with 4 state titles. I know Coach Shaq will be looking to go back for his 5th and 3rd in a row this season. So an amazing opportunity for this year's team. And I believe this year's team will be with a win tonight, will be the winningest group of players in Cashion history. They will have had 51 victories with a win tonight as a group, from freshmen to seniors. So an amazing that included a 16-0 run last year. In terms of just kind of wrapping up the Cashion side of it, again, year-end review. Wildcats doing a great job, averaging about 38 points per game, only allowing 15. Coach Wood probably would like that in the single digits. It's been somewhat balanced, definitely a little bit heavier on the passing side, 287 to 169, holding the opponents right around 250 yards a game, 21 first downs. The penalties have been a bugaboo and have been for several years, averaging about 7 for 55. But in true form, when you win the turnover battle, you win a lot of games, and that's the case for the Cashion Wildcats. +7 on the season, doing great work this year. Again, moving to 9-1, number 1 ranked. We'll go with the Oklahoman ranking, the number 1 ranked team in the state for sure. Hey, since we're going to keep this going, we will not break to timeout. Let's break it over to the Dibble Demons. Dibble coming off a victory over Wynnewood to qualify as the fourth place winner, I guess the fourth place team in District A4. Is that correct? A4?
Yes.
We got a win over Wynnewood, 35-27. Again, 5-5. If you take a look at the record, there's a few folks in there that stand out. Certainly, when you're sitting in that district and you're playing Ringling, you'll be staring at them. But a couple of other good teams in there, Elmore City Prunello as well as Wayne, had gone undefeated at some point during the season and had done well. But Dibble, again, with that win against Wynnewood, earned the right to come here to Cashion and try to move on to the next round. From a perspective of players to watch, Chris, or I should say from a team perspective, what are your initial thoughts of the Dibble Demons?
Just as a team, you look at them and they're young. I mean, I looked at their roster and I was searching for a 12. I mean, they've got their grades broke down in the actual numbers, and I was just kind of going through there, and there's not that many seniors on this team, especially in the skill positions. They'll have a junior quarterback. Well, hold on just a second. A junior quarterback and a freshman quarterback that kind of switch on and off, and that will get a lot of playing time. And other than that, there's not very many of the seniors that really contribute. There's going to be a lot of sophomores that you'll see with the ball tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
So from a standpoint of the Demons itself, before we kind of break down some players, what's the scoop there, Drew, in terms of what you heard from Coach Richard Norman and facing the number 1 ranked Cashion Wildcats?
Absolutely, and again, it's awesome that he's coaches each week. I get to talk to them, kind of get their feel for the game. It's I really appreciate when they are willing to reach out and kind of talk about this. So to different teams, playoffs bring a lot of different levels of excitement. So I asked him what the energy like for the Dibble Demons has been this week. He said the energy for them has been great this week. So for the last 2 weeks, they've been in a playoff scenario to where if they didn't win, they weren't making it in the playoffs. So he said they were kind of used to this attitude of you've got to win to advance. And at this point in the season, I told him, I was like, winner takes all. What would you say to your team to have success against the Wildcats on Friday? What do you need to do? He said for them, it's pretty simple. They need to shorten the game time, add the Cashion's limits of possessions, which is something that a lot of teams have tried. Some have been successful at, some haven't. He said they're going to try to protect the ball, cause turnovers. And Cashion's a great team with a ton of playoff experience, so he said it's going to be a good game for them. As a coaching staff, does the way that you prepare for a game change the way that you prepare for playoffs? He said we prepare for a playoff game as we would any other game of the season. Most coaches would say that. Whether or not it's true is up to them. But and then I asked him, kind of what Chris had said, who their standout players this year had been and how will they perform to impact tonight's game, and in their coach's opinion. On defense, Dalton Atkinson, defensive end, was going to be a key player, and their linebacker, Hudson Long, he said they needed to have really good performances to create a pass rush situation on the Cashion high-powered offense. And then on offense, Eli Reimer plays quarterback some, and then Jag Norman, I believe that's his son. Those two have to carry a load for their rushing attacks, or for Cashion's rushing attacks on their offense. So they need to have big games out of all of them. And then I asked him, what aspect of the game do you hope to control Friday? And like every other team I've asked that to, they hope to control the clock and limit Cashion's possessions.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. We've heard that story before. In terms of players to watch, I appreciate that component. I know, Chris, that you had a breakdown a little bit deeper in terms of some of those players.
Turn volume up a little.
Turn mine up a little bit? Okay, very good. Get it going. That's the first to ask me to turn my volume up. But, Chris's players to watch, so good to see that Coach Norman and Chris are in sync in regards to a few players. I know you had highlighted, Chris, a couple. What are the thoughts here on these two players that you've highlighted?
Yeah, Eli Reimer, he's a kid that's going to probably start at quarterback. He's a big kid that can, run the ball well. I think the quarterback number 1, Trey Ott, he kind of comes in and slings it a little bit for him. But number 12, Eli Reimer. He's a junior quarterback, linebacker, 6'2", 208. Big kid that's going to go out there and he's going to get downhill and make some plays. Then the other kid on offense, number 24, Jack Norman. I didn't realize that was the coach's son, but the kid runs hard, is smart. You can tell he's the coach's son because he is really good at finding that hole, getting to where he's supposed to be, and then getting down the field to make those yards. But, he said number 32, Dakota Dalton Atkerson, he was one of the kids that I almost highlighted tonight just because on the defensive side of the ball, he's always around the tackle. He's there. He's a kid on the front of the line that's going to be disruptive. And, you definitely want to keep an eye out for him tonight.
Very good. So, again, this has been an expedited. Is that a word? Did I just make that
Yes,
up?
that's a word, I think.
Wow. Man.
I think. I wouldn't quote me on that.
That's okay. We've this is a very quick version.
Is that OU education?
That's Norman High, baby. That's AP English, Mrs. Long. So, absolutely appreciate you guys hanging tight with us as we kind of micro machine this pregame episode and try to get you going as we've got a ton of stuff happening out here. Again, this is the road to Richardson. I know it's not the road to Watland anymore, but we certainly are celebrating the first stop here in a multi-game facet. And we expect Cashion to make it to the state title. If it doesn't, it would be an upset in essence, but certainly we won't take any game for granted. We know today will be important, obviously the next one as well. Any last thoughts from a Dibble perspective as we kind of take a look to see kind of where we are from a time perspective, Chris or Drew?
No, I think we kind of hit the nail on the head as far as what Coach Norman thought about the game tonight, and then Chris's key players of the game. I mean, like we said at the beginning, this is everybody's 0-0 this week. So, you could be the number one ranked team in the state playing nobody that's ranked, and it really doesn't matter after tonight, depending on the score.
The only thing I can say is about Dibble is they're coming. They're going to be ready
They're
to play.
physical. They play physical.
This is this is their Super Bowl, right? They're coming to play. Every team wants to knock us off because we're the returning champs, right? If we were playing somebody that was the champs last year,
Yeah.
it would be the biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
We're that person this year, so every team is going to be that way. Dibble's coming here tonight and wants to prove something to saying, hey, we may have been the fourth in the district, but we're here to play, and you better be ready.
Absolutely. So I guess with that, maybe we'll go to a quick timeout. I don't know, Chris, what do you think? You want to keep going, or you want to just run the dice and run with it as we try to think about keys for the Cashion Wildcats? Or
We keep rolling.
I say we roll.
Okay.
Let's
All
go.
right. Very good. So that's what we do here on Cashion Wildcats TV. Do appreciate you guys joining us. I guess before we jump in that, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a big shout out to our man Sammy Jackson, our superintendent. I know there's some news out there right now, but go give him a hug if you'd like. We absolutely love it. And really without Sammy, the vision of Sammy, along with Coach Hardaway and Coach Shack, none of this would be a possibility, a reality for us. And of course, we can't do this every single day without our awesome sponsors. It starts with these fine folks who support local communities, have great businesses here locally to help kind of make sure that they're supporting us here in Kingfisher and Logan County. But moreover than that, they're doing their part to help support our community and bringing this to you guys, again, free of charge. If you're at any other school, this might be a $10 service here at Cashion, and if you guys are joining us here from Dibble, again, free of charge, and we can't do that, again, without the fine folks at Modern Woodsman Financial, Cashion First Baptist Church, Coffee Creek Church, Todd Miller Design Company. I think, is he opening up in a barbecue place?
That's the rumor going around.
Oh
He thinks he wants to.
It's crazy. I think we mentioned that last week, but between Grain and Grange and Old World Iron and all the things that they've got going on, and it's been amazing over there. Intrust Insurance Agency, I think we talked about the Ropers a lot of great things happening with the softball. I know Mackey is a freshman player, phenom for Coach Courtney Chambers. We've got obviously Community State Bank, our logo corporate sponsor for our scoreboard. Obviously all the fine folks, Chad Tishner and Leah Harmon and Shauna Sunken and
Sarah Smith
and everybody. I think they employ about half the town. We love it. Community State Bank, go give them your money. They'll take care of you. And you know what? I got to tell you, the side story. I know we're about side stories. We pulled into the drive-thru. Like, you don't get that out of a Bank of America, right? You went to the drive-thru. We were going up to, I think, Aldo. I think
right.
we were going. They're like, need me a couple bucks. It was like, and it was just like literally talking to family. It's certainly it was a nice deal. So
When I was in high school, I would just go in there, and I didn't know I had to know my account number. I'd just sign a check and set it on the counter, and they just put it where it needed to go, I guess.
Absolutely.
I still had money, so I guess they took care of me.
And that's what you get with the Community State Bank, a local community group. You know, people here taking care of you. They know you. They want you to do right. And that's something you don't get at some of those bigger banks, and certainly would encourage
And we
you.
have like Chad and I have like a weekly football, basketball, what's going on in sports conversation over a coffee about once a week, once or twice, maybe 3 times a week.
Yeah.
So
I love it. I love it. Downtown Cashion is growing. We don't have any stoplights, but it's definitely growing and doing fantastic. Blue Ribbon Construction, Gateway Realty. How can we forget Gateway Realty? I mean,
I might get in trouble if we do that.
Anita and Kelly, absolutely love them.
Veterans Day this past
And there we go.
Thursday, we would like to honor all veterans.
So with that, we'll send it over to Silky Smooth as we got the introductions and to our Rough Rider night. So we'll turn it over to Chad and the camera mic.
Cashion sideline. Whether you're from Dibble or Cashion or anywhere else, if you are a veteran, we'd like you to make your way to the Cashion sideline. Thank you.
All right. So if you happen to be in the area, if you know a veteran that's at the game, military and current military personnel, have them come on out, have them go to the sideline tonight as we'll be honoring all those fine folks that do great things for us here to keep us the land of the free and the home of the brave. So as we continue on, again, Rural Pest Solutions, Jesse McCracken. We had a cross country. I know Adeline and the whole group. They're a multi-sport family, but the McCrackens are fantastic. Not only a multi-sport, they're multi-diverse, right? They've got multiple side hustles going. You're going to say
if
something?
you want a clean house with no bugs, call them. And if you want a great snow
Hopefully that didn't
cone,
break.
you call the McCrackens.
So we love Jesse. Great. They go to everything. They've got runners, basketball players, softball players, cheerleaders. They're a fantastic family, local family. Water heater man, can't mess with that. And that's we talked about water heaters and just water and plumbing in general. So certainly trust our guys over at Water Heater Man. Rhino Roofing. I know Randy Miller's excited about basketball coming up starting soon here. I know he's got a lot of stuff going on. Appreciate that with Rhino Roofing. They're fantastic. Pioneer out of Kingfisher. Okie Print, Ratcliffe's out there over in Mundell Farms. Travis and the group, they've got everything in terms of printing services for you. Barnett Home Services, Wiggin, Sewell, and Ogletree. Earl, he doesn't have any kids around, I guess. No, he's got one around, right?
Nope,
No,
they've
they're
all
all
graduated.
gone.
They're all gone.
So, but the Ogletree's fantastic community folks here for us and love Wiggin, Sewell, and Ogletree. Diesel Horse Sports and Orthopedic, Doc D, taking care of you. Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. How can we forget Chris and Chris? We'll have the Legacy Insurance Financial Services.
Chris, and Christina now.
And Christina.
Yep.
Goodness, not on purpose, right? I don't think so.
Well, and then we have Aaron. So
We got the Jerry's with Absolute Pool and Lawnscape and Landscape, Shape Up Fitness, Maple Nixon Diesel Horse, Christy Perry, Attorney at Law, Candid Color Photography, Creative Medicare Solutions, that's Stephanie Woody, and then, of course, Kyle Vandruff, Farmers Insurance. I love all of our fine folks. We've got 22 fantastic sponsors, again, that keep this free. Thank you guys for listening while I went through that. Again, we talk about it over and over again. This is Cashion Wildcats Homer Television, and we can't do it without those fine folks.
Absolutely.
So with that, let's break down keys for the Cats. Chris, I'll go ahead and get the graphic up for you as we take a look at the Legacy Insurance and Financial Services keys for the Cats victory number 10 on the season.
yeah, so just to start off, we talked about Dibble. It's going to be very focused because they've got the Cats on the other side of the field. We have to come into this game laser focused because you can't look over people in the playoffs.
Absolutely not.
You want to come in and really make a statement, get momentum, start really fine-tuning as you go through the playoffs, and right here's where you start. So you come in and be focused. No flags. Don't give them easy yards, right? Don't take away big plays because you did something that you weren't supposed to. Clean the game up. Start cleaning up because as the playoffs go, penalties are big.
Yep.
And if it's a close game, if it's a close, a formidable opponent, the flags can make a big difference. So clean that up on the offense. Defensively, fly downhill. They're going to try to run the ball. They're going to, when they do throw it, they're going to kind of come back there, give you enough time to get to the quarterback, come downhill, get to the ball, fill the holes, and really just don't let them get rolling. Don't get them any confidence. Come downhill, stop them at the line of scrimmage, and then wrap up and gang tackle. That's something we have seen throughout the year a couple of games where we're like, God, tackle the ball, tackle the guy with the ball. So right here tonight in this first playoff game, focus on coming up, making good tackles, wrap up, and everybody fly to the ball. So those 4 things right there, it's not as much strategic tonight as just fine-tuning, come in focused, and get a big win.
Absolutely.
I love it. Certainly things in terms of fundamental piece.
In honor of Veterans Day this past Thursday, if you are
So as we get the last-second call for veterans to come to the sideline from Silky Smooth, Drew, I know you've got a breakdown from Shaq from the locker room. So what's the word from our man Lynn Shackelford?
Absolutely, and I'm extremely thankful that Shaq takes the time to text me back all the questions that I ask him each week. I'm sure people ask him the same stuff all week, but he's kind enough to text me back so that we can do this for the pregame show. But I asked him, as far as a broad look on this side of the bracket for the playoffs this year, would you say each round is extremely competitive? And he said this week they should. If we execute like we're supposed to, he said we should be fine. We play well. He said he thinks they can take advantage of some of the things that Dibble does. He said after that, he said every week from week 2 all the way until we get to the UCO Stadium, we're going to have to play their best to advance and have the opportunity to. And then, as I said, as his years as a head coach, have they ever not made the playoffs? And like I said before, they've made the playoffs every year, and the first year in 11-man was the only year they hadn't at least won one of them. And then I asked him what the keys for, in his opinion, what the keys would be for, the Wildcats. He kind of said the same stuff as Chris, but his big point on that was that Dibble's physical and they have to match that. And then I asked him, do you enjoy the winner-takes-all attitude of the playoffs? Do you, where you win, you move on. If you don't, you go on to basketball. He said he loves the playoffs. He said it's a one-week season, makes everything extremely important. He said this is what they prepare for all year. And then I asked him in the second round, home game, is it as important as some teams or some people make it out to be? He said playing at home is a big deal. It's an even bigger deal when you're looking at traveling to Hooker, which is 4.5 hours on a bus, which sounds terrible, he said. So he said we've also been pretty fortunate with home playoff games in years past, so it's awesome. I think with that we're going to move to the veterans that are moving out to center field.
Midfield. Come on, we're not in baseball season.
Midfield.
Yeah. Hey, great breakdown from Drew. Appreciate that. We're so lucky, Drew, to have you and the work that you're doing to kind of get that inside scoop with not only Coach Shaq, obviously, but the visiting coaches. It still amazes me that what you're able to do and doing that without bringing donuts or coffee, usually over the phone. But as we've got all of our veterans and active military personnel coming out to midfield to be honored, we'll make sure and turn up the main mic camera, and we'll see what our man Silky Smooth, Chad Tishner, has for us in terms of the mic. So we'll leave it here for a second. Hang tight with us here on Cashion Wildcats TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and join Cashion Band Director Daniel Pybus and the Pride of Cashion Marching Band as they play our national anthem. Please remain standing as they play the March of the Armed Forces.
Cashion Wildcat Band, honoring the greatest country in the entire universe. And we've got I guess we're going to go on and play each of the chorus.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for all of the veterans here this evening from all of our branches, the Marines, the Army, Coast Guard, Air Force, Navy. Thank you for your service to our great country.
Fantastic, fantastic ceremony. Absolutely love it. Well deserved. Drew, I would probably put you as.
At this time, I would like to read the story to everyone.
Okay, we'll let Chad kind of walk through the Rough Riders here.
The story about the man that the town of Cashion is named after, and the Roosevelt Rough Riders. In the year 1898, there was a group of young men who signed their names as the 1st Regiment of Volunteer Cavalry for the Spanish-American War. These men were called Roosevelt's Rough Riders. Roy Victor Cashion, a 1987 graduate of Hennessy High School, was among the men who enlisted as the 1st Regiment of Volunteer Cavalry on May 2nd, 1898. At only 17 years old, Cashion rode horseback from Hennessy, Oklahoma to Guthrie, Oklahoma to volunteer to fight in the Spanish-American War. The troop was drilled and trained in San Antonio, Texas for some time until June 15th when it was transferred to Tampa, Florida. Roy Cashion joined General Shafter's expedition into Cuba along with his fellow Rough Riders in late June of 1898. After an engineer had an altercation with the enemy, the Rough Riders advanced to Santiago and the San Juan Hill on July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The cavalry rushed San Juan Hill. Roy Victor Cashion was willingly serving on the front line. He was mortally wounded during that battle on July 1st, 1898. Roy Victor Cashion was the first Oklahoman to be killed on foreign soil. It was not until 3 days later when his remains were identified. The terrible news traveled back to his father in Hennessy, Oklahoma, where he immediately began efforts to get his son's body back to American soil. His father spoke eloquently and emotionally of his son's death and the bravery that he demonstrated throughout his short life. After a 3-year effort and with the help of a tent mate of Cashion's, the young soldier's body was finally successfully returned to Hennessy in 1902. The funeral for Roy Victor Cashion was held on January 27, 1902, which was 1,305 days after his death. In 1899, there was a statue and a monument erected in the city of Hennessy, Oklahoma, in memory of Roy Victor Cashion's heroic sacrifice. It is still standing in South Park, where many go to read the story and honor the memory of Roy Victor Cashion. Also, during that time, a small town that we all know and love, about 36 miles south of Hennessy, was founded and named in the memory of this heroic young soldier, Roy Victor Cashion. The town Cashion, Oklahoma, was named and incorporated in the year 1901. Joining our captains for the coin toss this evening is the great niece of Roy Victor Cashion, Jo Elaine Cashion Matuzik, and her son, James Matuzik. We appreciate the family being here tonight, and we appreciate the sacrifice that Roy gave for this great country.
Welcome back to Cashion Wildcat Television. A wonderful memorial, wonderful recognition, celebration on Veterans Day. Great job by there, Chad Tishner, kind of walking through the story. Drew, you've grown up in Cashion your whole life. You got what is it? 4 generations of? Is it 4 generations or 5 generations?
My great grandparents both graduated from Cashion.
All right,
and then everybody after them since.
So from a standpoint, from your perspective, I find you as one of the most patriotic young men that I know. But beyond that, you absolutely love this community. What's a day like today like for you, kind of walking through this, a little bit of history and honoring our veterans?
Oh, well, yesterday on the 11th, I mean, that's what they declared it on Armistice Day originally, you know, on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. They ended World War I, one of the deadliest conflicts at the time in human history. So, I mean, at this day, I mean, especially growing up, you saw the older gentlemen around town that would either be farmers or doing whatever else. You'd see them with their hats commemorating the wars that they fought in and everything else. And it was just always interesting to see how those guys, who you'd think of, as, sweet old men walking around town at one point, guys younger than me or my age were going and willing to fight and die for their country. So it's just one of those days that I just take extreme pride in, and just talking about and getting to meet veterans and see all the people that go out there and stand in the middle of the field. So I love Veterans Day. I think we should celebrate it every day. But
can you tell us a little about what the school and the leadership class does on Veterans Day?
Yeah, so every year for Veterans Day, the leadership class, they host a Veterans Day breakfast where all veterans can come. They get a free breakfast. I know all the moms of the kids bring great dishes. All the kids serve them as best of their ability, and then afterwards they go to the auditorium, or the elementary kids sing their patriotic songs and put on performances, and then usually the high school will do a reading and a performance and those type of things. So it's a really cool day to list all of the Cashion veterans. A lot of them are no longer with us, but they do a slideshow. So it's one of those days that I think is extremely special.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We have for the last couple of years have broadcasted it on Cashion Wildcats TV. So you are more than welcome to go on to CWTV.com or CWTV.tv, I should say, CashionWildcats.tv, to go look at the archive. So the captains are out on the midfield. Cashion Wildcats, white helmets with the Rough Rider emblem, white tops, white bottoms, a little bit of gold and maroon lettering, taking on the Dibble Demons, blue tops, blue bottoms, blue, looks like a black helmet actually, with the yellow pitchfork, gold pitchfork. The Demons out there, looks like, I'm going to guess, the few seniors that they have, I believe we have number 71, it looks like, is that correct? Or number 73?
12.
Number 12, so Eli Reimer, the quarterback out there. Number 52.
Nope.
No.
71.
71. I apologize. Number 71 is Jacob Sturry, senior. Number 56, Blaine Downey, offensive lineman, 6'2", 215. And so, again, for the Cashion Wildcats, all seniors, Mason Manning, Nick Nabavi, Landon Lagasse, Ben Harmon, and Joey Wilson. Looks like somebody deferred and I'm guessing if we won, it had to have been the Demons that got that. So,
Dibble did win it.
yeah, so Dibble did win the toss. They deferred the second half. Cashion Wildcats, of course, take the ball. They would have done it if they would have won the toss. Cashion Wildcats will elect to receive. We'll be working from east to west, right to left on your screen. And so as they come out, they shake hands. We've got football coming up here in a couple minutes. So with that, Chris, the Sharpie is out. The tunnel and smoke is up. The kids will be ready to run out, and as we've done for the last several years, I've been blessed to do this on Cashion Wildcats TV. Do you have a prediction for us tonight?
I do have a prediction, and I predict that the Cashion Wildcats will win. I think they will get rolling. I think they will be focused. They know it's the first round. It's time to get polished, and the Cashion Wildcats are going to roll tonight, 47-7.
47-7. I'm not going to deny. I'm not going to bat an eye. I'm not going to doubt one of the greatest high school line setters that we have, definitely at least for Cashion Wildcat football.
Call your bookies, make that bet.
That's right. One of these days, I'm telling you, we're talking about it. We're going to get an offshore high school line going at some point. At some point, maybe Oklahoma will wise up and allow gambling. I don't know, but we allow everything else.
Bet M&Ms, hot dogs.
There has to be some native land around here. We can open up a sports booking.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that one out.
Chris Cochran's got some
We'll be
somewhere.
in my family. Yeah, it may have to be from the Chris. So with that, it's a 47-7 victory prediction for my man Chris Gibson. Appreciates all that. Certainly we'll get ready as the Cashion Wildcats be running out. Any thoughts here in terms of first series for the Cashion Wildcats as they get ready to run out the tunnel?
I think they're going to, like Chris said, I think they're going to get the ball rolling. I think it's going to be I think every play is going to be intended to be a quick, powerful play, get as much yardage as possible. I think they're going to try to put some numbers on the board pretty quickly in this first series.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's the playoffs.
It's the playoffs.
Let's go. And I think just watching film, I don't know which way Shaq's going to go on this first drive because I think he could run the ball with success, and I think he could throw. A lot of times he likes to get that ball rolling with Nick, really open things up. Let's see what he does tonight.
As the Cashion Wildcats coming out, every single player with a U.S. flag. What a fantastic view. Gotta love that. Little smoke, little tunnel, little light action. Some Cashion Wildcat fight song. And certainly I'd love to see that happen for the Cashion Wildcats. Our referees and officials for tonight's game: referee Troy Niles, umpire Derek Jones, head linesman Kyle Glass, line judge Jake Ferris, and back judge, our favorite official, Ian Thompson. And as we always say, Chris, regarding our officials, what's the story on them?
The officials are one of the most important parts of high school football. If we didn't have these guys, we could not play the game. We appreciate them getting out here, and they don't make a living doing this. I promise you, they do it because they love the sport. They love the high school atmosphere. We appreciate every one of them, and like I always say, if you think you can do better than they can, I'm sure they'd be happy to have you out, and they would train you up and let you get out there with them to officiate these games.
Absolutely. We don't have to agree with them, right? But it's an idea we absolutely do appreciate them being out here. We can't do it with them. And again, this is Cashion Wildcats TV, Homer Television for the Cashion Wildcats. And so let's go ahead and get that going right there as the kickoff team moves out.
Kind of touched on the playoffs a little bit this week. I love playoffs, like Shaq said he loves playoffs, because everybody going into this game hasn't won one, they haven't lost one. So tonight it doesn't matter what your ranking was going into it or what your ranking was at any point in the season. Everybody's 0-0, and tonight you either go on to victory in the next round or you go on to play basketball next week.
Well, we definitely want that victory. So the Cashion Wildcats again will be receiving here, and we appreciate you guys joining us here. Again, 8,000 folks joining us. The playoffs is where we make our hay. A lot of folks want to tune in to see what's happening, and we appreciate you guys joining us here. Cashion Wildcats deep. Looks like we'll have Seth Gilbert, Mason Manning in the middle, joined by senior Landon Lagasse. Up men look like Cooper Frazee, Nathan Abavi, and I guess that's Nick Nababi as well, I'm trying to guess. So kick is off. It's a high one. It's deep. Looks like that will go out of bounds as Gilbert will let it roll. That'll be a penalty. It'll be Cashion football. First down and 10 from the 35.
Here we go. I love it. It's high school playoffs. We've talked about it till we're blue in the face before this game. It's just that atmosphere, that do or die. It's out here. Let's go. And like I always say, if this don't fire you up, your wood is wet.
Wood is wet, absolutely. So Cashion Wildcats coming out. Again, big shout out to our lineman, Preston Cotter. We've got Tommy Branson filling in for my man Camden Maroney, Joey Wilson, Juliana Martinez, and Chase Ritter. We got Jackson Vandruff out there for us at the H-back. And shotgun to Bobby to the right of Harmon. Snap, screenplay out to Manning at the flats. He's got a great block from Gilbert to the 40. He's got a chance down the sideline, and he'll carry a few Dibble Demons into Dibble territory. That'll be a first down and 10.
Yeah, good job just getting the ball out there on the edge to Mason. And like you said, man, Gilbert just threw a great block, and nobody even touched Mason until he was about 20 yards down the field.
So first down play started from the 35, already cashing into Dibble territory. First and 10 from the 40-yard line. Same look here for the Wildcats. Harmon this time will look to his right side. He'll roll to his right. He's looking for somebody. Everyone's deep. He's going to have to keep. And he'll cut back in out of bounds. A little late tackle there. And that looks like he'll get about 5 or 6, and it'll bring up second down and about 5 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that time there was really good coverage down the field. Nobody really open. There you want to see those guys down the field really break it back towards the quarterback. If you're shallow, go deep. If you're deep, come up. Find that open spot and give Ben a target to throw at. He didn't have anything, so he just pulled it down and got the easy 5.
The Demons showing kind of a 3-4 look here. Cashion going 2 by 1 here. Vandruff staying in at that H-back, that cowboy back. Harmon back to pass. Little hitch out to Gilbert. Nice little catch and run. He's still on his feet. It's going to take about 5 Demons to bring him down, and that'll be a first down. Cashion Wildcats inside the 10.
Yeah, that time just a little seamer out there by Gilbert, and Ben put it on the money and just took 5 of them to get him down. Gilbert's not a big kid, but he is a hard-nosed kid that likes to play and get out there. I don't know about the red shoes, but got to give him heck a little bit about that.
A little bit. 2 by 2 for the Wildcats right around the 10, so it'll be first down and goal from the 10-yard line. We do have 11-16 here, first quarter. Harmon will fake. He'll go left side. Little corner route. That will fall into the ground. Not sure. A little miscommunication. Drew, what did you see on that play?
Yeah, kind of like you said, it looked like a little miscommunication. Like Ben knew where he wanted to put it, but then they were a little just out of sorts on that end. You mentioned the red shoes. He's lucky that Shaq's gotten a little bit nicer and sweeter in his old age. When we were playing, if you would have had any other color but white or black or gold, you would have gotten reamed for it.
So play number 5 on this drive. Second down and goal. 11:09 play clock has stopped with that incompletion. The first incompletion for Ben Harmon. He'll give inside to Nabavi. He's got a small hole. We'll try to kick back out left. He's going to try to stiff arm. We do have a flag. Not sure if that's going to be a face mask or what.
Number 4, Nick Nabavi on the carry. Penalty flag on the play.
We'll have looks like it'll be a holding against the Wildcats.
Where that flag came flying in from was the referee back there, and that's usually a hold, and that looks like what the indication is.
So that'll move it back as Coach Norman will definitely accept that, make it second down and goal now from the 22-yard line. Let's see what Cashion has dialed up. Maybe a little half and half play here. Get it third and manageable. Same 2 by 2 look here. Nabavi to the left of Harmon this time. To his left, a little.
It's going to be an illegal formation or something. We got a flag come in over there on the edge.
So we saw the flag. It kind of set me frozen as Landon Lagasse on the slant takes it all the way inside the 5-yard line, but we'll have a false start here for the Wildcats. And so what did you say, Chris?
Illegal motion, something. No penalties. Key of the game, right?
I feel like we've said that every week. It's the Twilight Zone. No penalties, no penalties.
Well, I'm going to keep saying it until we clean it up.
So the Wildcats, their own worst nightmare now, continue to march it back now to the 26. This is certainly not what you want. Play 7 here for the Wildcats. They'll go trip side right. Lagasse by himself. This will be the matchup you'll want against number 5. That's Ed Perez, 5'8", 155 freshman against the 6'3" Lagasse.
Got a little help coming over the top now.
Yeah, it looks like you're exactly right as Shaq will get the read. Harmon back to pass, looking to his right. He's got plenty of time. He's got the sit there by Gavin Phippen. Nice little catch. Still on his feet. Nice little job there by Gavin Phippen, getting it all the way down, looks like, to about the 10-yard line.
Yeah, good job by Gavin there just to find that soft part of the zone, and then Ben delivered a strike, and then always a good hard run by Gavin after he gets the football.
Always nice to see Gavin out on the field. Dirk next door, I know he's glad to see him back out there.
Gavin had his first touchdown of the season last week against Crescent. It was a good run. I think everyone was pretty emotional. Harmon back to pass, looking to his left. Steps up in the pocket. He's got plenty of time. Searching. He'll go ahead and keep it. He'll roll to his left. Spin move. Looks like he's going to be brought down right around the 5-yard line. So it'll be 4th down and goal from the 5 for the Cashion Wildcats.
And what they were trying to set up there was just like a corner, a Z corner to the corner of the end zone for Landon Lagasse, and it was set up perfect. And as he was going across the back of the end zone, Dibble Demon tripped him up. He went down, so Ben didn't have anybody to throw to.
So 4th and 5 from the 5. Big down here, 9:18 first quarter. The Cashion Wildcats took the opening kick and have moved it all the way down to the 5. See if they can't punch it here. Harmon back to pass. He's got Nabavi, a swing pass, touchdown, Cashion Wildcats. Nick Nabavi dumped down to the 5, into the end zone, and the Cashion Wildcats get points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, just after shooting ourselves in the foot 3 plays in a row, just boom, 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 right down the field, and finish off in the end zone for a big touchdown. Good pass, good catch there by Nick. Into the end zone for the touchdown.
I mean, other than those penalties that kind of set us back and made us have to do something we probably didn't want to do, that was exactly what we talked about at the beginning of the game. We thought that Shaq would probably come out and do, and that's just have a couple of plays that were going to get big yards, go down the field, and score as fastly as possible.
Hogan on for the kick. It's up. It looks good. Is it good?
It is good.
It is good. So Bryson Hogan, Mr. Freeze, puts it through, and it's a Cashion Wildcat 7. Your Dibble Demon 0 here with 9:06 left in the first quarter.
And here's the replay. You'll see Shaq sees what he wants, gives him the read, and Nick, all he does is get out in that flat area, and Ben delivers a strike into the end zone for the touchdown. And great concentration right there by Nick. You see him, the defender dives right in front of that ball and still came away with it into the end zone for the touchdown. 7-0 Wildcats.
If you didn't hear the announcement before the game, at halftime, instead of our usual lessons with Lane and I talking about the stats, we have a special guest in honor of the Veterans Day stuff going on Thursday. We have Major General Ricky Adams, who's been kind of a Cashionite for a long time. I could read off his list of acclimates and awards and organizations, but it would take us the entire first half. So, I mean, that's going to be something you want to tune into for halftime. I mean, the awards list alone covers half my page. So, I mean, I'm really excited to get to sit down and talk to him.
So a 65-yard drive takes 9 plays, 3 minutes. Wildcats put up with 5-yard touchdown pass from Ben Harmon to Nick Nabavi. That's Harmon's 38th touchdown on the season. Bryson Hogan with the kick from the 40 is a banger. This guy's going to go all the way to the 10. Number 21 will catch that. Work back to the middle. Looks like eventually brought down by several Cashion Wildcats. Tanner Dean. Looks like Gilbert as well as Duran out there for the tackle. So looks like it'll be 1st down and 10, right around the 25-yard line for the Demons. First possession of the game.
I think that's one of the first times the whole year on a kickoff I didn't see Vander
just screaming
tackle on the kickoff. I mean, that dude, like somebody said, I think he has the most special team tackles in the whole state of Oklahoma.
That was Lane Lesser with a 5-yard return for the Demons. So 1st and 10, we'll see a little bit of mix and run. Looks like we've got a nice, looks like deep pistol look here as Eli Reimer will get it. He'll hand off to the running back, Jag Norman. He'll work left side. He's going nowhere as it's like Max Brown and number 64, Aiden Williams, changed his number tonight.
Jag Norman on the carry. He's tackled.
Change it up tonight.
So that'll be a loss of 2. So a tackle for loss for Williams and Brown. 2nd and 12, 8:38 running clock here, first quarter.
And that defense, we got that 4-man front. They like to run the ball a lot. What we want to see is those linebackers really coming down, filling any hole, and just don't let anything get rolling downhill. You see Mason Manning, he's so good on the edge, not letting him get anything to that edge. He's a quick kid and can read, plays very well. You see him going across there.
So Jack Norman on the carry, Nick Nabavi on the tackle there. Met him. I apologize, Bryce Burke on the tackle. We give him about 2, and that'll bring up 3rd down and long for the Demons.
That to hurt. I mean, goodness, ran right in. I thought it was Nick at first, too.
It was, yeah.
But, man, just picked him up and dropped him as quick as he got anything going. Good job right there by the linebacker, come downhill. And, like I said, get there, wrap up, make a good tackle, and that's exactly what that was.
Yeah, Coach Wood running a 4-3 tonight. We've got Jackson Bandriff, Chase Ritter, Aiden Williams, as well as Joey Wilson on the line. We've got Manning, Bryce Burke, the sophomore's been fantastic this season. Nick Nabavi, outside linebacker. Lagasse and Fippen, as well as Gilbert and Brown in the DBs. Rolling left is Reimer. He's looking for somebody. Nobody there. Nabavi there along with Jackson. Gets a nice little gain. Looks like all the way across. Looks like about the 32-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down. Is it 4th down? It should be 4th down.
It should be 4th.
Yeah.
Yep, 4th down.
So it'll be 4th down and looks like about 4. Decision time from Coach Norman?
7 yards on the play.
I don't think so. I don't think there's much of a decision to be made there. I wouldn't want to give it to us right here on that yard marker, so I doubt he does either. Then again, I could be wrong.
So it looks like Eli Reimer, the junior, 6'2", 208, is also the punter. There's pressure coming up. Lagasse deep. He'll have a chance at this one right around the 30. He's got blockers. To get the outside to the 40. Manning trying to take care of business. Hopefully won't get a call. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like Manning and number 24, Jack Norman, mixing it up as Lagasse gets it out of bounds right around the 45-yard lines where Cashion will take over. Second possession of the first quarter. 6:39 left.
Yeah, I don't know what Mason and Reimer were getting into there, but both of them were kind of going back and forth, and I was surprised they didn't throw a flag on one of the two.
So Coach Shack saying, hey, we're going to do our best Texas Tech impersonation. 5 wide, 4 up top. Lagasse by himself matched up with 5. He's daring Coach Norman to figure out what he's going to do with Lagasse here, aced up by himself. Harmon shotgun by himself. Safety deep is number 20.
Just throw it deep to Landon right here.
He's going to have to hustle to get over to Lagasse. Let's see if they go there. They'll go to the swing pass to Manning. He's got a good block by Gavin Fippen. Absolute pancake.
Great block by
Manning
Gavin.
free to the outside. Jets on to the 20, 15, cut back. Fumble on the ball.
They called a hold on the pancake on Gavin, and then Manning gets down there, and as he's going down, fumbles the ball, so it's not going to really matter either way.
Great run by Manning, though, minus that last little part there.
Which Benson there talking to the head linesman, so I'm wondering if there's not something else. Nope, it is going to be a hold.
So first turnover of the game goes against Cashion after an electrifying run by Mason Manning on the swing pass down the right side. A fantastic blocking. That was textbook. We certainly appreciate our officials, but we disagree with Troy Niles here on Cashion Wildcats Homer Television. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Demons. 6:24 here in the first quarter from the 5-yard line. This will be their second possession.
I mean, let's talk about that while he's running all the way down. Gavin is driving him backwards. The kid falls on his back. I don't understand how that is a hold. But maybe he went down to his ankles and tripped him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it looked like he was just up top driving the kid, fell on his back.
So Caleb Duran's checked in at linebacker. We've got
doesn't matter when you fumble, though.
That's exactly right. Gilbert at the other corner. Safety is Gavin Fippen along with Max Brown. First and 10. Reimer will hand off to Norman. We'll say that a name. There is another flag coming up. Nice job there by Gilbert on the tackle off the edge. Only gets a couple, but let's see what the flag goes for here. Most likely holding.
Looks like an area of a holding there. And it looked like they had Caleb. Did you talk about that? Caleb Duran had gone in for Mason, so after that run, hope he's all right, but it looked like he was headed back in, and then they pulled him back for a minute.
You know, it's probably a smart play. You have a big run, a 50, 60-yard run. You fumble at the end.
Foul. Shot block, the call against Dibble.
Oh, that's a big penalty as Coach or as Chad Tishner calls out the chop block.
But they're only going to go back half the distance, so they only lose about 3 yards there.
So it'll be first down and 14 from the 6. 6:08 running clock here for the Wildcats. Dibble Demons with the ball. Eli Reimer quarterback. Jack Norman to the right of him, the sophomore. He'll fake. Reimer will keep it himself. He'll roll out. Edge is sealed. Nabavi's first to meet him. Max Brown with the speed, closing it out with the tackle. Credit Max Brown coming downhill.
Yeah, good job slowing him down by Nick Nabavi, and then Max Brown with the speed, like you said, just is so quick, get to that edge, and it was able to bring him down before he gets any yards.
Second down, 13.
So gain of 1, 2nd and 13 from the 4-yard line. 5:49, I apologize here. First quarter, Cashion Wildcats up 7-0. Appreciate you guys joining us here on CWTV Production. Playoff football, live from Maxon Field. It's a cold one, but we're comfortable here in the press
Not
box.
cold up here at all.
We're doing well.
It is nice and toasty.
Nice
we
and
wish
toasty.
every game could be broadcasted from Maxon Field for a variety of reasons. Snap, give underneath to Norman. He cuts through, nowhere to go. And it's Aiden Williams as well as Bryce Burke, I believe. It is Bryce Burke, one of the leading tacklers on the team. The sophomore has been phenomenal this year. And I'll bring up 3rd and long.
It's just a great job by the boys up front to really just, do their job. And then those linebackers are doing a great job coming downhill and just meeting them at the point of attack and really not letting them get anything going.
Looks like we're going to have Mason come back in.
Yep.
So Manning is so versatile, just an amazing athlete. It reminds me of Braxton Green, where you can just plug and play him in basically almost any position. Manning at deep safety here. We've got Fippen and Gilbert on the right side, Lagasse and Brown on the left. Snap. Rollout by Reimer. He's looking for somewhere, nowhere to go. Bryce Burke will push him out of bounds, and that'll bring up 4th down. Nice, healthy game.
I think he got a first. Nope, he's short.
Reimer on the keeper, pushed out of bounds by number 9, Bryce Burke.
But it was a good run there. I think the Cashion Wildcats were kind of sitting back waiting for him to pass the ball. He saw there was enough room and just almost got to the first down marker. I guess he was about 3 yards short there. But
Yeah, he just about got it, though. It's our vision's a little impaired looking from the angles up here.
Deep is Lagasse. Reimer with the punt. This will be a hanger. Hopefully stay away from a Cashion Wildcat. That'll hit a Dibble Demon. That should be dead right where he touched it. It'll be Cashion ball, 1st down and 10 in Dibble territory at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, and right here, let's see this offense. This offense has had a short memory all season. The big fumble right there. We get the ball back quick. Let's see the boys go down the field just like they do and see if we can't get another touchdown on the board.
Talk about key. If you were to talk about keys to success for just an offense in general, that forgetfulness is something that has got to be key. Usually the times you have trouble are when you are just dwelling on something bad that has just happened or something good that's just happened. You got to have a short memory with it.
All right.
So we didn't have anybody set, and I don't even – sideline warning by the Demons. So I was trying to figure out what the call was there. So play clock will get refreshed here as the Cashion Wildcats showing that quad look here on the left side with Brown, Gilbert, Fippen, and Manning. Again, Lagasse aced out by himself over on the right side, this time on the field side, or boundary. Harmon back to pass, fakes the screen, goes deep. Lagasse wide open. Touchdown, Cashion Wildcats, 42-yard strike, one play drive as the Cashion Wildcats put another on the board.
Right there, they didn't have anybody over the top, and Coach Shackford saw that, gave Ben the signal, and Landon knew what to do right there. Big touchdown for the Cashion Wildcats, just a streak down the sideline.
I got a little nervous when I saw the sideline warnings. 9 times out of 10, if a ref says that, it's on Coach Wood or Coach Shack.
Bryson Hogan, the senior, out. He's waiting for basketball season, but he's got a long wait, we hope, as he comes out to kick an extra point for us. Fantastic point guard / 2 guard. Nabavi on the hold. High snap. Kick is up. It's a beaut. And it's good. It's Cashion Wildcats put another, and it's 14-0. 4:42 left here in the first quarter.
Yeah, we'll dial up that replay for you and just see how quick Landon gets off of the ball and down the field, and then Ben with a strike for the touchdown. Let me get this over here. Hold on 1 second.
They were almost Shaq was there on him saying, let's figure this out. We're going to figure out how to get this aced out here for the Lagasse.
Well, and I'm not very good at my job again.
Good there. Nice little catch. They're good camera work for our man Mark Barrett. Our local guys, Colton Niemeyer, as well as Gage Pettick. Appreciate them, Mrs. Carnes' class. So So the Cashion Wildcats put another one up. Quick strike offense, one play, 42 yards after getting the 3 and out. And they go up 14-0. We might have 47 by half here.
Well, I just thought we get a big lead like that, we may see a lot of young kids in that second half getting a lot of playoff experience.
Yep. And that's the deal. You get an extra, extra few weeks of practice. It continues to build on itself. Hogan kicking off for the Wildcats from the 40. Big boot going out to number 21. Lane Lesser, the sophomore, catches. He cuts back out to his left. No hold call, but eventually brought down by Kai Gilbert as well as Max Brown. And the Demons will be taking over first down and 10 right around looks like the 30-yard line.
Yeah, you see Max Brown there, and we've talked about Gavin. We've talked about a few others that have had injuries. I love seeing Max fly around the field after he had the collarbone. Did it break, I think? But seeing him back out there on the field, just flying around with his speed, is a joy to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. What week was it that we lost Max there?
I think like second.
Yeah, it was pretty early on. We do have a Demon that's hurt itself. We'll go to a quick timeout. Be right back here on Cashion Wildcats TV.
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
Welcome back to CWTV. Max and Field here live. Playoff football. The Cashion Wildcats up 14-0 against the Dibble Demons. Demons with their third possession starting around the 30-yard line. It's been the Cashion defense, and we have another flag here. Looks like we do have a false start. So not a clean start for either team. Cashion with multiple penalties and a turnover already, and Demons with a couple of penalties themselves. So that'll march it back 5. It'll be 1st and 15. 4:37 here. First quarter action. Again, Wildcats scoring on a 5-yard touchdown swing pass from Harmon to Nick Nabavi. Had a fumble on the second possession, and on third possession, one play, 42-yard strike from Harmon to Lagasse, the speedster who leads the state in receiving yards right around.
That wasn't yards, was it?
Oh, not yards, touchdowns. I apologize.
Touchdown receptions.
Is adding this touchdown receptions, 25. Reimer down the line, Jackson Vandruff. That'll be another tackle for loss for Jackson Vandruff. The kid is an absolute monster at DN, and that'll be 2nd and long for the Demons.
Yeah, talking about the yards there, we were looking at the stats. I think it was a couple weeks ago, so it could have changed. But when we were looking at the stats, him and Mason were pretty close, within about 100 or so on yards. But the touchdowns is what set Landon apart.
Yep. And right there, just Jackson Banner just threw, just destroyed his guy trying to block him, sloughed him off, and went and just another big tackle for loss. How many has he had this season? I
think he's in double digits.
He's a machine.
For sure. Yeah, and I think the yardage is almost in triple digits based if you accumulate all that. So again, 2nd and 20 here from the 20, 3:51. Reimer option pitch out to Norman. Great job there by Vandruff. Another tackle. Can't escape the guy. He's a walking nightmare.
Right there, I think his responsibility on that play is the running back. He kind of hesitated at first, let the quarterback pitch it out there, and then he has the speed and the arm length to grab on and bring him down for another big tackle for loss.
So it'll be 3rd down. 21 from the 19, clock running here, and if your coach Norman maybe ought to slow down a little bit. That certainly has been the plan for the last few teams playing against the Cashion Wildcats, trying to control the clock. Demons come to the line. It's a stacked line here, a power right look. Singled out by himself is looks like is number 17. Give underneath the Norman, cuts outside. Nice wrong. Bryce Burke, Gavin Phippen there with the tackle. Gets short of the first stick, and that'll bring up That should bring up fourth down.
Yeah, right there. I mean, they just had a very soft defense there. Just didn't want anything over the top, get 20 yards. And the boys did good just keeping it in front, coming up and making a tackle when they saw the run.
So Reimer back to punt again as Cashion Wildcats force another punt. Pressure's on the edge. Straight up, looks like that one is going to land right around the Cashion or the Dibble 50 and roll into Cashion territory. Nice demon bounce. And that will roll dead as the Cashion Wildcats will take over their fourth possession, this time on Cashion's side, right around the 42. Up 14-0 with 2:24 left in the first quarter.
Another good defensive stand there by the Wildcats. I mean, I don't know if they have positive yardage yet because the boys up front and those linebackers are just getting after that front line and those running backs of Dibble. Good job to those boys up front, getting the ball back to this offense, getting another chance to go score another touchdown.
Cashion back to their typical formation here. Little blitz up coming up, picked up great there by the line. Harmon rolls to his left, hits Manning, nice little catch right around the 40, still on his feet, 30, 25, he could go all the way, touchdown, Cashion Wildcats, 60, 50, no flags, 57-yard toss, Mason Manning, yards after catch, Max Master, and it's another one on the board for the Cashion Wildcats.
Fantastic run by Mason. I always look for the flags on those because it seems like every time Mason scores a touchdown, there's a flag somewhere on the field.
Yeah, and that time, I talked about earlier having good coverage, didn't really have anything. Ben pulled it down and ran. That time, Mason did a great job coming back to the quarterback. Ben did a great job of keeping his eyes down the field.
Absolutely.
Found the open receiver, and then Mason, man, he's so good about making guys miss and then going to the end zone.
I'll tell you what's always fun every year. If you go back at the end of the season, whenever that may come, if you go and look at the first game and then the last game they play, just how much better each kid gets. It's just insane the level of maturity and the level of skill that just improves just throughout the season. Especially Ben. I mean, if you go, I might go back and watch week 1 with Ben footage tonight, actually.
Extra point is short by Hogan. He just missed that one, so it will stay 20-0 here, first quarter action. I think here's the replay.
Here's the replay right here. You see Ben, initially doesn't really see anything. Starts to move, keeps his eyes down the field, finds Mason coming back to the football, and then just make kids miss and outrun everybody to the end zone. The kid is an athlete. Ben is such a good quarterback, can find the guys and make things happen. Good all-around play there by the receiver and the quarterback, and then the guys up front really making enough time to make that happen.
Yeah, fantastic. So another one-play drive. This one going 57 yards as Harmon hooks up with Manning there. This is now the third different receiver that Harmon's hit for touchdowns. Nick Nabavi with a 5-yard touchdown. We'll get that squared away. A 42-yard one-play drive with Lagasse, and now this one going 57 yards. We got a bunch of problems with the scoreboard. Hang tight with us. I'm not sure what's going on. We'll get that cleaned up here for you. It's now the opposite direction. But we'll get it fixed as Cashion Wildcats here. First quarter action still. 2:12 left. Bryson Hogan with his third kickoff of the night already. Same kick going deep. Lane Lesser with the catch right around the 15. He'll cut back to the middle. Vandruff's there, and he ain't going anywhere. So a great closeout by the junior Jackson Vandruff. Another tackle. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Demons right around the 25.
I told you that guy is in on almost every kickoff tackle.
Before you receive the ball on kickoff return, look around, see where Vandruff's going to be, and make sure you're on the opposite end of the field.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Here, the defense, man, they just keep doing what you're doing. They've done a great job stopping the run. Let's see if they maybe try to change something up and throw on first down here just to surprise the Wildcats and get something going down the field. But at the same time, throw it and incomplete. Clock stops. But you got to get something down the field and moving and going for the Dibble Demons.
Demons, keeper by Reimer. He'll roll to his left. Pulls out Nabavi with the missed tackle, arm tackle. Joey Wilson in coverage, deep ball, wide open is 21. The catch is out of bounds. Great effort there by Lane Lesser, and even better effort by Eli Reimer rolling to his left, trying to evade Nick Nabavi as well as Joey Wilson, but that'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and the kid threw a good ball there. That is not an easy throw, rolling to your left and then trying to drop it right over two defenders. He did a good job there, just was a little bit outside of the line and didn't no good there for the Dibble Demons. Nick DeBobby was on hot pursuit. I thought he was going to get him in the backfield, and Joey Wilson was also. So give credit to Eli there to get out there and make a good pass.
Yeah, if you're Coach Norman, you got to make some big plays like we've talked about with every team that's tried to control the clock. Eventually it becomes you controlled the clock, but now you got to make something happen.
Hand off to Norman. He'll work the left side. Nababi's there. That time he comes up with the tackle. Nowhere to go. Great pursuit, edge pressure there with Gavin Fippen as well. And that'll bring up a loss of 1. It'll bring up 3rd down and 11 for the Demons.
Another good job by the linebacker there, just to get over there. Do not let anything outside and seal that edge. And every time that they've tried to get anything on that outside, the guys up front have done a good job slowing them down, and then those linebackers just there to clean it up.
4 wide receiver set for the Demons. First look of the night. Back to pass. Reimer's going to come across the middle. Ball's in the air. Almost picked off. Number 20. That was Nathan Harpole, paid the price there as Manning came in, the heat-seeking missile, basically disconnecting him from the ball. Falls incomplete, and it'll be 4th down and 11 as the Cashion Wildcats force another 3 and out.
Yeah, Max was just right there. Tip drill. You want to come in there and scoop that up and get that interception, and he just couldn't get those fingertips under the ball there.
So again, Lagasse deep. Reimer with the punt. Pressure on. This is another short one. Nababi will get away from it wisely. And I'll roll it to 50 into Cashion territory. Right around the 48 will be 1st down and 10 for the Cashion Wildcats coming up.
While we're waiting on the transition here, I mentioned it once already, but I'll mention it again. At halftime, instead of the regular lessons with Lane and I going over stats, we're going to have a special guest, Major General Ricky G. Adams. I could read over his list of awards, accolades, just about everything, but it would take us the entire second half. I filled up an entire notebook page just on some brief things I'd like to hit. So in honor of the Veterans Day stuff going on this week, I'm going to have the pleasure of getting to talk to him for a little bit at halftime, so you don't want to miss that.
Do not miss that. It is absolute entertainment. It's almost Vegas-style entertainment. We got you covered from left to right, all different types of genres.
So,
it's a variety show.
Let's give a little shout-out. Caleb Paris is down here with the first responders, the ambulance crew. We appreciate them being down here every single game. The guys down there tonight are Aaron Schmidt, Charlena Butler, and those guys down there, and Caleb Harris, our first responders. The Miller ambulance that's here in Cashion does great service for the area. We sure appreciate those guys, and we appreciate them tuning in and watching the Cashion Wildcats.
So we missed the penalty. I guess there must have been some sort of roughing the kicker, which was I'm not sure what happened there. So it'll be Dibble Demons football. I'm still trying to figure out what happened. So we're all trying to figure out what happened. It looked like there was a penalty based on the whistle. Looks like Cashion will take a timeout. We'll go to a timeout. Be right back. Cashion Wildcats TV.
31 years and counting, Community State Bank has taken great pride in being your hometown bank. With branches located in Cashion, Dover, and Hennessy, CSB strives to reflect the small-town hospitality these communities are known for. Our friendly staff is here to serve you and provide one of the best banking experiences around, equipping our customers with the latest in banking technology combined with a personal, down-home relationship. Come into one of our local branches or visit us at www.mycsb.com. Community State Bank, small-town banking, the way it should be. Member FDIC.
All right, welcome back to Maxon Field here. Cashion Wildcats TV, Neiman Abavi, Chris Gibson, Drew Baker. The Cashion Wildcats here. First round playoffs against the Demons, up 20-0. And we got the clarification. It looks like there was the referees thought it was 12 men on the field when in fact it wasn't. It still was counted as a penalty. It'll be a 15-yard mark-off. It'll be the first down for the Demons, and they'll have it right around the Dibble 38, 39-yard line. Back to pass is Reimer. He's going to go to a double clutch, double move. Gilbert's there in coverage. Great job. We'll get a holding call. Coming back. Gilbert with a great breakup. Nice job with the PBU.
Oh, he called it in.
They're going to call that a catch?
Yes.
Flag on the play.
So if the completion is made, let's see if the flag will allow it to stand. We will have holding, so we'll march it back. I thought it was a great pass breakup by Gilbert there on the play. The receiver was that number 10. Was that number 20, Nathan Harpole again? I think that's been his target of the day. Actually, in that case, it may have been number 10. I apologize. I got a bunch of brand new numbers. For me, anyways, that was Trevor Christensen, junior wide receiver, 6 foot, 176. So that mark-off will push it back all the way to the 25. We do have 59 seconds still left here in the first quarter. Appreciate you guys joining us here on Cashion Wildcats TV. Homer Television for the Wildcats. 1st and 25. Reimer with the give underneath the Norman. Cuts back up. Nice lane. No holding call there on Burke. He'll have a chance to break through, and that will get it across the first stick.
Number 24, Jack Norman.
Bryce Burke's jersey still left there at the 30-yard line, but nonetheless, it'll be 2nd down at about 7. So nice play there by Norman. And outside of the holding call that was missed, a great job there by the Demon offensive line.
2nd down and 7.
Since you guys aren't saying anything, it was a clear holding. So I guess that's a lot of it.
I was going to pull up some scores here of the other playoff games around the state and just kind of see what everybody was doing.
2nd and 6 from the 43. 43 seconds here in the first quarter. Cashion showing a little bit of a pressure, no blitz there. 4 straight man. Jack's pitch. In through the hands. It is Conrad Legas. Tip drill. Double time. This may be a pick 6. It is Legas. Touchdown. Cashion Wildcats. 50-yard interception return. Put another one on the board.
Yeah, and that time, just like you said, tip drill, get the ball and go score. Just quick play there, and man, Landon Legas seems like just gets in the end zone just on anything.
That literally went through 3 Cashion Wildcats and 1 Dibble Demon, and it ends up in the hands of Legas. Johnny on the spot, no one there to catch him. And Cashion puts one on the board. 27-0. 26-0, I apologize. Looks like we've got Adley
Jerry.
Appreciate our folks at Absolute Pools and Landscape. Jerry with the extra point. It's a beaut. It's good.
There you go.
27-0. Cashion Wildcats up. 32 seconds left. It's the Landon Legas show. Puts a 2nd touchdown. This time on the defensive side, going 50 on the pick 6, and the Wildcats are cruising. First quarter action.
And you saw the replay right there. Just they're playing tip drill, 3 people deep. Landon finally got it in his hands and took it to the end zone.
I gotta say, I missed hearing the band and all the cheers and the bells the last 2 weeks when I was in the Pay Dirt studio in Norman. I did miss it. I missed the crowd.
Well, we missed you too, Drew. We love our Pay Dirt folks in the Squirtle. We can't do this out without the fine folks like Adam Dieselhorst, and we know Andy and Sooner lawyer Andy Campbell and the group. But we absolutely love you. We missed you, and we're glad that you're back. So Bryson Hogan out to kick off again. Do we have any scores here while we're waiting?
Yeah, just looking through here. Pawhuska and Hominy, they played earlier in the year. Hominy won that game. It's 21-0. Pawhuska's up. They've got some kids back that were out against the Hominy team earlier in the year, and they're going to probably roll. Hooker, Boone Apache, that's a game to watch because we play the winner of that next week, and Hooker is up 14-0 over Boone Apache in the second quarter. I kind of figured it would be a little bigger gap there with Hooker and Boone Apache, but it's 14-0. Looks like Hooker's probably going to roll that game.
Wobbler, Hogan, it's like that one will go out of bounds.
Talking about Hooker for a little bit, if you missed it last week, the game between Hooker and Fairview for their district championship to see who decided to had to come here in the second round, that was a ball game. You'd think it was over with and someone would throw a 92-yard touchdown. It went back and forth for a while there.
Yeah, that was a good one to watch. And if you have nothing to do on a Tuesday night, pull that up and watch it. It was fun to watch.
So it looks like the Dibble Demons with their 5th possession. What do you have here? Got a score up there?
So Elmore City, that everybody was touting as a really good team this year, OCA is winning in the second quarter right now, 13-12.
How's Hinton doing? They're playing
Hinton is 6-21 in the second quarter.
They got a touchdown on Ringling. That's good. Inside give to Norman out of the hands of Joey Wilson. Ritter there as well. Finally brought down. It looks like that is number 64, Aiden Williams with the TFL. And Jack Norman has nowhere to go. The sophomore, 5'10", 185, has just been hounded by white shirts and Rough Rider helmets all day.
As the weeks go on, that Squirtle list of scores we got to read gets smaller and smaller. I'm not sure the exact number that's playing tonight, but half those people are moving on to basketball on Monday after this evening.
Yeah, I'm looking at another team in our district, Tonkawa, our second-place team in the district. There was people saying that Wayne could upset Tonkawa.
Who said that?
People did. but it's 14-0 in the first quarter right now. Tonkawa's up. I guarantee you number 5 probably has a touchdown or two in that game already.
I'm really rooting for Hooker this week. I ran into somebody on campus this week that was from Hooker, and I was late to a class because we were talking smack to each other between Hooker and Cashion.
I love it.
All right, that is the end of the first quarter here, live from Maxon Field as the Cashion Wildcats, round 1 of playoff 2021, take a 27-0 lead. We'll go to commercial. Be right back.
Christy Perry is a Cashion-based attorney providing clients in Oklahoma with trusted, experienced legal counsel regarding wills and trusts, bankruptcy, and other areas of law. Flexible scheduling is available to discuss your options, and your first consultation is free. If you need assistance regarding a legal matter, call your local Oklahoma licensed attorney, Christy Perry, at 918-373-0882.
Our world is changing, but one thing is the same. We're here for you. In these uncertain times, take comfort in knowing that modern women of America is built for this. We are built to handle uncertainties, and we've weathered many in the past 137 years.
Welcome back. Second quarter action here. Dibble Demons. He'll hand off a little reverse jet sweep. Number 1 coming back to the quarterback. It falls loose. Looks like we're going to have a roughing the passer or a hold. I'm not sure if that's roughing the passer or how that's going to be accounted.
It's going to be a roughing the passer. I think Joey was just had too much momentum, couldn't get stopped. The kid threw the ball, and Joey went through him and took him to the ground. So they're going to call that about every time.
So give credit to Coach Norman. Richard Norman staring at a second and long, throws in the little double reverse flea flicker with the freshman Trey Ott, who comes in, backup quarterback, 6'2", 200. No match for Joey Wilson, as Wilson does draw the roughing the passer as the ball fell to the ground. Intended receiver was Eli Reimer. So that'll be the second first down of the day, both on penalties for the Demons. Oh my goodness, is this a Brexton Green sighting? I felt like my hair growing out of my head just as he walked in. Appreciate an illustrious alum, Brexton Green, joining us up here. Reimer in shotgun. He'll get that underneath. He'll keep, roll left side. Nice little RPO. Nice little run. Lagasse comes off. Manning eventually with the tackle. So give credit to Eli Reimer reading Joey Wilson coming down the line. Pulls it, keeps it, and that'll be a first down into Cashion territory for the Demons. So welcome to the booth, my man Brexton Green. Brexton, Emporia State redshirt wide receiver. How you doing, sir?
Doing great.
You miss it?
So much.
Okay, all right. I know sitting's got a stink. Being a scout guy is terrible, but that just means better time for you down the road.
That's not too bad. I like all you guys.
Was it offensive scout team MVP this week? Up in here? Nice.
Yes.
Good job,
Counting
man.
it on Facebook. Saw it all over the place.
Your daddy's always proud of you.
Absolutely.
Hope so.
My Brett.
My Brett's a good
First and
dude.
10 from the Cashion 35. 11-15 here. A little jet sweep. Keeper to 20 off the edge. Coming through Jackson Vandruff all the way across, running about 120 yards to catch. Number 20, Nathan Harpole, the 5'9", 147 junior, gets about 5. So give credit to Norman. They've got back-to-back positive plays, and they're marching, bringing up second down and about 6. It looks like for the Demons here from Dibble.
Yeah, the last two plays kind of had some success getting on the edge. We haven't been coming up and sealing it like we have the whole game. Let's see if the Wildcats can correct that and get some more tackles for loss and get another stop here.
So 2nd and 6 from the 31. Running clock here, second quarter, 10:36. Reimer in shotgun underneath the Norman. Norman will find a small hole. Jackson Vandruff there to close it up. And it looks like that will be a short gain of about 1. That'll bring up third down and about 5. No decision here for Norman. This is going to be 4-down territory for sure, down 27-0.
Just about every time there's a defensive tackle somewhere, there's a good chance you're going to see a 88 somewhere in the vicinity of it.
And just a junior, I mean.
Oh, I know.
And I say this, he's just stupid strong, which means he still, I don't think, has any idea that he literally can lift a car over his head and throw it on somebody. So 3rd down and 4, 9:58 from the 29. Reimer, he'll go ahead and throw, coming back, little hitch route to the receiver, a little broken, nice move there by number 16, eventually brought down by Gavin Phippen. Give credit to, that would be Austin Maddox, the freshman,
and we've got a flag on the play.
And we do have a flag.
I think Gavin tackled him too hard. I mean, that's what it looked like to me.
I'm assuming he had something to say about that.
Let's see who it goes against. But as Gavin threw him down, he kind of turned around and said something. I bet there's going to be a little bit of penalty against the Wildcats.
And in typical Cashion fashion, taking a small little break here.
Unsportsmanlike conduct to call against
I know
Cashion.
Coach Wood's not going to be happy with this.
Unsportsmanlike with the Wildcats.
This penalty will bring up first down and go.
So the Demons driving. This particular drive started from the 35. This is play number 4 on the Demon side. This is going to be first and goal from the 4. Let's see if the Cashion Wildcat defense can bow up and hold on to that shutout up 27-0.
You know, and what started it all was that penalty when we had them way back, second and long.
Yep. Little powerhouse give to Norman, right side. He's got blockers, and he's in. That's a touchdown for the Demons, and they get on the board.
Yeah,
Nice little run there, a little 4-yard run by Jag Norman, the sophomore.
On that drive there, it was one of those deals we just didn't execute on some of the plays that we had to, and we gave them the opportunity, and they obviously took advantage of having the opportunity and were able to make those big plays going down the field to get them on the board.
So kicking the extra point is number 9, Javier Calvo, the senior. Snap. Kick is up. It's a nice one, and that'll be good. So with the touchdown, a 65-yard drive, 7 plays. The Demons put one on the board. No shutout for them. 27-6 as the Cashion Wildcats will be getting the kickoff here with 9:43 left here in the second quarter.
Including world wars, disease outbreaks, depressions, and recessions. You may have concerns about your financial plan, but you can also have peace of mind. You got this because you have us.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Woody, and I want to help you or a loved one navigate your way through understanding Medicare. It's hard getting questions answered when you don't know who to call or trust. I am local and appointed with all the insurance carriers in Oklahoma. You can trust me to help you apply for Medicare, make the right decisions based on your current financial and healthcare needs, and feel confident about your future. Act quickly. Annual enrollment period is October 15th to December 7th. Call Stephanie Woody, that's me, at 405-830-4966 to set up an appointment.
All right, welcome back to Maxon Field, Cashion Wildcats television production here. Neiman Ababi, Drew Baker, Chris Gibson. Joining us up here in the booth is Emporia State freshman wide receiver, former All-Stater for the Cashion Wildcats, state champion Brexton Green, and powerlifting and football. Almost got one in cheerleading too. Baseball almost. We had a chance there. Brexton, how's the life at Emporia treating you?
It's a little different, kind of a culture shock being so far from home, but settling in, liking the guys, liking the coaches a lot, getting a lot better, I feel like.
All right, good. I know it's tough. You're a competitor. You've played all your life. You've started your whole life. Now having to kind of grind a little bit here, but it's definitely going to make you a better player. What are your thoughts on this year's Cashion Wildcats team? I know you watched them. You've been at a few games.
Yeah, I watch every game. I like to see a lot of the older guys stepping up, having 7 really important guys graduate last year, a little nervous about the leadership, but I think a couple of the guys have stood up and taken that role, and that's why we're in the position we are to have another chance at another state title, I think.
Onside kick.
So onside kick is recovered by the Demons. And in fact, I wasn't sure you were allowed to kick it that way where you popped it into the ground first, but I guess they called it free. It didn't travel the 10, but it looked like a Cashion Wildcat came up to try to secure it. So it will be Demon football here. So a nice little turn of events. And if you're Coach Shack, you got to expect the Demons are going to do something with the kickoff. Got to be at least ready for it. So it'll be first down and 10 from the 49. This will be the 6th possession for the Demons.
The defense was a little lax that last drive. I think this right here is going to get their attention, and they will be ears bent back, ready to get this stop right here.
So Coach Wood will call a timeout. We'll leave it here as Brexton, we've got you here. So what's been the biggest change from high school to college?
Everything is so much faster.
Faster?
Bigger, stronger, faster. So much more mental than I would have ever assumed. The game is so much more complex than it's thought to be. Every play can be so many different things depending on where the ball's at or what the situation is and everything, and I wasn't really aware of that until I showed up.
So we've got a couple guys that might be going on to the next level. What advice would you give some of these seniors right now that are looking to play at the next level?
You better love it because it's your life. When people say it's a job, they're not kidding, but I think if you have the right mindset and want to be there every day and want to get better, it's a lot easier, and I think that's where I'm at now. When I showed up, it was pretty rough. Fall camp's terrible, but as soon as you settle in and start making friends and enjoying being around the guys and the new coaches and everything, I think it's every single day is a challenge, and you just got to go win it one day at a time.
Speaking of settling in a little bit, how was the transition from nice bedroom life with Coda to dorm life?
Oh my God, the dorms couldn't be much worse. It's like living in a hotel and you have the worst room there all the time.
That makes you appreciate what you have.
Oh my God, I miss Mom's cooking so much. The calf
All right,
just doesn't
second
do
quarter
it.
action, 9:39. Little onside kick recovery there by the Demons, taking over full house right side power look, coming back left side, bobbled ball, stretching that out, find a hole. Good job there by number 21. That was
Number 21,
Lane Lesser, the sophomore, staying patient, found a lane and got a few yards. That'll bring up second down and about 6.
Down there, the edge was set. Like you said, he did a good job just finding the seam, getting downhill, and getting, 3 yards there, 4 yards on that first down play, and to get the ball rolling for the Dibble Demons. When you're a run team like that, that first down play is always important, and 4 yards is big there.
9:04 here, second quarter. Give inside to Norman. He'll cut back outside, looking for something. Jackson Vandrift's there. He'll sling him back. Looks like Max Brown, among others. And that'll be a gain of about 1 or 2, and it'll bring up third down. And we'll give it about 4 here, right around the Cashion 45-yard line.
Gain of 3 on the play, third down and 4.
Yeah, on that time, just nothing. There was no cutback. The boys up front did a good job of really filling all the holes, and the linebackers were there to not let him get much, maybe a yard, and this is a big third down player here.
Same formation for Coach Norman and the Demons. The blitz showing here, up the pressure, coming up. Burke was there. He had a chance. He was picked up, and I think he scared the running back so much that he went ahead and fell down. So that'll be a loss of about 1 or 2, and that'll bring up fourth down. And no decision here for Coach Norman. He's going to go for it. He's already kicked an onside. Can't waste it. He's got to go for it here.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You got a little bit of momentum with that onside kick. Got a big play on first down. Got the 4 yards to kind of get you rolling. And here on the Cashion side of the football, of the 50, got to go for it and try to get the first down.
So they'll spread them out here as they go single back to pass. Going back, coming up. That's it. Legas run it the whole way, and he's got another pick 6. See you later, Landon Legas. Touchdown, Cashion Wildcats.
Yeah, that time, man, Landon was just saying, throw the ball. I'm going to pick it and go to the house. The kid threw it. Landon did just that. Got it and just outran the quarterback to the end zone for another touchdown for Landon Legas.
I literally could not believe that they were going to go ahead. And you know what the difference was? They had Gilbert matched out last time. I saw that it was Legas this time, and I cannot believe they went to that side. Cannot believe it. So out to kick this time will be my man, Chandler Christensen, the doctor's brother. He's out to kick this time. Nick Nabavi on the hold. We've seen 3 different kickers now for the Cashion Wildcats. Love the rotation here. Hold by Nabavi. Kick is up. It's a wobbler. Does it get enough? It does. It's good. Cashion Wildcats pulling up after the 65-yard pick 6 return by Landon Legas, showing his speed. And the Cats are up 34-7.
And here we go with the replay. You see Landon Legas is just singled out up there, and he knows where the sticks are. He's reading the quarterback's eyes and just makes a great break on the football. Gets it in his hands, and you're not going to catch him before he gets to the end zone.
Absolutely love it. Landon Legas doing it every which way but loose. He's got 2 pick 6s on the night. He also has a 42-yard grab for the touchdown on the offensive side. And Wildcats dealing 34-7.
Was that an Eddie Rabbit song reference I heard? Every which way but loose? May have been.
Can we start burning out? We can go through Smokey and the Bandit. We'll go through it all. So, Brexton, we got you still here. I know you're enjoying the warmth and the heater up here. I'm sure. I know you got your cargo jacket on there. But in terms of just you keeping in touch with
Did you say cargo or Carhartt?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I talk to him every day. I tell him all good luck before the game. Tell him I'm keeping up with him.
So, Caden Harrell's redshirting. Is that right?
Correct,
So,
yep.
you guys, are you kind of talking to each other through all this?
Yeah, we call each other every once in a while and just tell each other the sad stories that we have about being freshmen again, being the small guys.
Hey, it's all part of it.
But we're all going through it the same, and I think we're both starting to enjoy it more, ready for a little bit of off-season, not going to lie. But
Harper with the catch right around the 10. He'll go back to the middle. He's going to cut back. That's a bad decision. Lloyd's out there coming up. Pushed out of bounds eventually as Bryson Hogan, the kicker. So number 21, give him credit, Lane Lesser. He gets it from the 10 all the way about to the 26, and it'll be first down and 10 for the Demons. Their 7th possession. 7th. Can you believe it? Their 7th possession of the first half.
Well, that first quarter seemed like it lasted forever, and it was such a big lead there. And then that drive to start the second quarter was just kind of a outlier. And man, did the defense step back up and really show what we can do there with the pick six. Now defense is back out there again. Let's pick it up. Let's not let them get anything rolling. Let that one touchdown be all they get the whole game, and just really prove a point that we're real and we're ready to roll into the playoffs.
7:34, roll option to the left. Going to keep it, going to get knocked out of bounds by Nabavi. He's going to pay for it. As Reimer was like, hey, I think I'm going to get out of bounds. And Nick says, yeah, I'll help you. So that'll be a second down. A gain of about 4 there on that little option keeper on the left side. That was literally looked like it was in slow motion. Wasn't sure what was going on. And maybe that's to Eli Reimer's kind of credit. I mean, he's maybe lulling the defense to sleep as he kind of trods through. So that'll bring up second down and 6 with the out-of-bounds play. The clock stops with 7:28. Second quarter action. Appreciate you guys joining us here on Cashion Wildcats TV. It's Nima, Chris, and Drew. First-round playoffs here live from Maxon Field. If Cashion wins, we've got the winner of Hooker and
Boone Apache.
Give to Norman Wright. He'll work to the right side. He's stretching it out. No holding call. There is a holding call. It looks like that's Manning. Go ahead and sling the running back Norman to the ground. It'll be a gain of 1 if it stands, but it will be holding. And this, I believe, is the 8th penalty of the night against the Demons. I wouldn't call it a clean game by any sorts by either team. And so Cashion will accept the penalty. That'll work it back from about the 27 all the way back double sticks territory all the way down, looks like, to the 17. So it'll be second down and long for the Demons.
If Cashion's fortunate enough to win tonight, we will play the winner of Hooker Boone Apache, and judging by the score now, it looks like that is going to be the 9-1 Hooker Bulldogs that we will host here at Maxon Field for the second round if they pull off that win against Boone Apache. Hooker and Fairview were in a knockdown drag-out last week, and the winner of that became the district champions, and that's who got to take the long bus ride to Cashion next week. I think it's almost a 4.5-hour bus ride from that part of the state down here. They did it last
year, so and they brought their fans with them. They've got great fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Dibble traveled well. Of course, they're only about 45 minutes south of here.
So Reimer with the keeper, he'll work right side. There is a penalty. Ushered out of bounds. It looked like he was waiting for number 24, Jack Norman, to come across the opposite side. What would be considered maybe a Baker special type of play, even though there was no give to the running back and a throwback to the quarterback. But he was waiting. But great coverage there by the Cashion Wildcats. Looks like we'll have another illegal formation. So that play was dead from the get-go.
5-yard penalty.
So penalty, I believe, number 9 on the. Is that I think that's penalty number 9. We'll get Lane maybe to offer up a few stats for us here. So what was second and long is now second and Guthrie right now. So it is second and 22 from the 13, 6:45, second quarter action. Cashion Wildcats up 34-7. And we've almost got that 47 for you. We're going to have to kick a field goal. I don't know what's going to happen there. No, actually, I apologize. No, we just need I can do math.
Two touchdowns, miss one extra point.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we may be there in the first half.
4-man rush, straight up. Jackson Vandriff almost gets there. Bryce Burks is there, but it looks like, is that Aiden Williams?
Yep.
Aiden Williams, his senior, coming through with another great tackle. Another tackle for loss. Way to go, 64, and that'll be third and long.
We need to start giving you a way out on your scores when you mark down. If it's that at half, we need to just say that's what you thought it would be at the beginning of the half.
Before, by the way. He's hit it at half. So, anyways. So with the tackle for loss, running clock, 6:17, second quarter. Cashion will maybe get 1, if not 2 more possessions here. The Dibble Demons go out, trips left, I apologize. Let's see if they go back to that other side. They don't. They go up inside to Norman. He's got nowhere to go. Nabavi was a lot behind the line of scrimmage, and guess who? Number 88, Jackson Vandriff, with another tackle, and they'll bring up 4th down and long.
And that time, we've seen it throughout the game where it's 3rd long. The Wildcats kind of back it up, keep everything in front. That time, Coach Wood brought the heat, and it was a run play, and just Jackson Vandriff sucked him in, took him down, 4th and long.
So Reimer back to punt at the goal line. He'll get it off. It'll be a roller. Lagasse has a chance on the catch. He's got a chance to the 30 to the edge. He's looking for a couple blockers. Cuts back, dances. Fumble, loose ball. It looks like the Demons will return and will recover. And that is a situation where Lagasse needs to take care of the ball and just get out of bounds with a 34-7 lead. And so ball is knocked loose. And it'll be Demons ball. Second turnover of the night for the Cashion Wildcats.
As we're approaching the halftime deal here, I've said it a couple times. At halftime, instead of our lessons with Lane stats, that's what we usually do. I'm going to get I have the privilege of interviewing Major General Ricky G. Adams. Over 26 assignments, over 14 awards, 9 posts in the professional memberships and affiliations, several high-ranking positions in civilian jobs outside of that. Over 14 awards, like I said. I couldn't even list all of them if I had time to. So don't miss that at halftime.
1st and 10, motion is number 21. There'll be a give on the jet sweep. Manning is there to hits at the edge, and he ain't going anywhere as Manning says, no, sir. Tackle for loss for Manning. And that'll bring up second down and long. 5:14 here, second quarter. The
They're going to call a face mask or something. I think Mason tackled him too hard there, too.
16 Mason Manning. Penalty flag on the play.
Yeah, Coach Woods out there. I don't know if he's talking to the
So we do
defense.
have a, yes, it will be a, looks like a personal foul on Cashion Wildcats.
Yep.
I think he just tackled him too hard. So God bless playoff, and we appreciate our crew. I know Troy Niles is the brother-in-law of the Plex sister of Amy Hammonds in the family, but I don't agree with that call. This is football, and this is not time for YMCA. This is the playoffs. We don't need any mercy calls out here. Mason Manning basically threw the kid down. It was a fair tackle, and if I'm sure if Coach Richard Norman had that happen to him, he would say the same thing for his team. So timeout, Cashion. It's 5:14. Another first down by penalty for the Demons. And essentially the Cashion Wildcats doing everything they can to allow the Demons to have a little bit of success in this game. We'll go to, you want to go to timeout? We're going to leave it here.
Yeah, we can go to quick timeout.
Oh,
I was just
quick timeout,
watching
right
Coach
back.
Wood having a powwow with his defense out there. And heart to heart, didn't even let the Water Girls come out there and refresh the boys. He's letting them have it right now. He's not happy with how they're performing. And it's 34-7. So.
And honestly, I mean, you're looking at 2 fumbles, a fumble going in for Manning. That would have been a touchdown. A fumbled punt, that would have been right around the 19-yard line for Cashion. That's 2 more scores.
Hey, Braxton, when Coach Wood's fired up like that, what's he telling you right there? Just challenging you, or what's he doing there?
Yeah, draw a line in the sand in a game like this, put somebody in their place so you know that you're better than, and don't have stupid penalties and turnovers like that, and just play with your pads and let your pads speak for who we are and what we do in Cashion.
Man, I could almost hear him saying those exact words out there. Thanks for filling us in on that. Yeah, that's big time.
Reimer with the carry. Nice keep. The right decision for him to roll up. He pays the price as Manning tries to go up top to slow him down. Looks like that will be enough for a first. Actually, yeah, it will be enough for a first down. So another first down for the Demons as they keep the ball going. They will have the ball at half. 5:04 here from the 42. First down and 10. Reimer in shotgun. Norman to the left of him. Looks like we've got another penalty. Cashion not getting the right kind of penalties, but we'll take it. So.
Hey, at least they're flowing both ways on the penalties.
The call against Dibble.
It's going to make a long game.
Result in a first down.
So many penalties.
15.
Our penalties have been absolute killers, though, where you have a
first downs.
Yeah, you have a loss that ends up, a tackle for loss, it being a first down. But nonetheless, another false start. I believe that is penalty at least number 10 for the Demons. We'll get that wrap up from Lane. So 1st and 15, 4:47, second quarter action. Cashion up 34-7 here, first round of playoffs. Trips left for the Demons. Reimer in shotgun. Norman to the left of him. He'll go ahead and give to Norman. He'll work right side. He ain't going anywhere as Jackson Vandross tackled him softly to the ground, and no penalty flag on that one. And that'll bring up second down and long.
Norman on the carry.
Yeah, that time it's just Jackson Vandross just gets up the field and just leaves nothing for that running back to do besides run into him and try to run him over, and that's not happening.
You know, Jackson is an absolute wonderful combination of power and speed. I mean, it's just it's God-given. And, if you're a right tackle on that side, God bless you, and you're going to have nightmares of 88 for
what else helps him is he's got a wingspan that can reach across the football field, and when anybody's close, he can reach out and grab them, and then he's a sure tackler when he gets a hold of them.
Blitz is on! Looks like it's Jackson Vandross. Guess who? There with the initial tackle. And the Bobby was out there, says, okay, Jackson, you got it. Joey Wilson in the vicinity, and that'll be another tackle for loss for Jackson Vandross. Yes, that's right. We've said his name, and he continues to absolutely own the Dibble Demon line.
And I had that on film, Deuce. You got a front row seat to that big tackle.
So with 3:28 running clock, second quarter, what I thought would be 2 possessions for the Cashion Wildcats, maybe just be 1. Let's see if the Demons can pull a rabbit out of their hat here, maybe get another fortuitous first down from penalty. 3rd and 31 from the 21. He'll give underneath to Norman. He's looking for a hole. He does have one. Manning chasing him down. Breaks the tackle. Will come up. He's still on his feet. Eventually he's thrown down. And that's where Manning just needs to just go down and make the tackle. You know, he's trying to grab up top. I don't know why shoulder pad tackling is necessary. Just wrap him up around his waist and take him down. And so that'll bring up 4th down. And that'll bring another punt. Hopefully the Cashion Wildcats won't have a penalty with enough men on the field just running the 11th man on. There will be no one back this time after that last fumbled punt, as Lagasse will stay home on any type of fake. A wobbler will hit around the 40, will roll. It'll be a Dibble bounce all the way down, looks like inside the 30, down to the 26-yard line, where the Cashion Wildcats will finally get their 6th possession of the game. And with 2:28 left. So we'll go to a timeout. We'll be right back. Cashion Wildcats TV.
Kyle and Gina Van Druff have the answers to all your real estate and insurance needs. These guys will have you covered in a one-stop shopping experience. They are local agents, local supporters, and active in the Cashion community. They are also proud parents of past and present Cashion students. Kyle and Gina help their clients make the right choice. Don't wait till it's too late. Call 405-607.
All right, welcome back to Cashion Wildcat TV. Second quarter action. 2:28 here. The Cashion Wildcats with their 6th possession of the game. Harmon in shotgun. He hadn't seen the field in a while. He'll get to Nababi. He'll break the first tackle, cut back through. He won't get much after that as number 64, Ben Rhea, with a little extracurricular activity. No foul with the extra hard throwdown on that play, but nonetheless, we don't ask for those kind of flags here in Cashion. So a little 3-yard, 4-yard, about a 3-yard run for Nababi. He hasn't had much action tonight. He's been kind of quiet. He's had that touchdown.
Hadn't had to. I mean, you're just throwing the ball at will, having big plays, big touchdowns.
Pick sixes.
Yep.
2x2. Harmon will keep. He'll come back. Slant to Lagasse. Wide open. He's got a chance if he breaks free of the 50. Coming back across. Touchdown saving tackle by number 21, Lane Lesser, coming back. And it's like Lagasse comes up. Looks like he fell on the ball. Knocked the wind out of him a little bit. But that'll be a huge catch and a first down for the Cashion Wildcats all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I think he just landed on the ball as he got tackled. Knocked the breath out of him. And it's hard to play when you can't breathe.
So with a big play there from Harmon to Lagasse, the Wildcats in Dibble territory, first down and 10. Little stack formation here on the short side. It'll come back to Manning. Let's see if he can get some blocks. He gets one, gets another from Gilbert, gets to the 30, to the 25, and we'll go down another Cashion first down. Great job there by the wide receivers, Seth Gilbert, Jackson Vandruff on the block, and it'll be another Cashion first down.
Yeah, you got to love it. You see Vandruff and Gilbert over there in front of Mason, and just let those two guys get on their blocks, drive their feet, and then Mason's so good and quick and can really find a space to get out there and get big yardage.
Max Brown aced out by himself up top as Lagasse stays on the sideline. Shotgun. He's going to look for Brown. He's going to cut to his left as Harmon is looking for something. He's got a lane. He's going to hit to the sideline wisely, and that'll be a nice little pickup about 5 as Ben Harmon stops the clock. It'll be second down at about 5, right around the 19-yard line.
Yeah, and that time, like we said earlier, he does a good job of keeping his eyes down the field. That time he said he didn't say anything. Just get to the sideline, get out of bounds, get a good yardage on that first down play, get out of bounds and stop the clock so we can get another score before halftime.
So Wildcats with the clock stopped here with 1:01 left in the second quarter, first half action. A little stack action here on the left side, on the boundary side. Lagasse is back in the game, aced out, safety help on him. He's going to go back to Manning again, not covered, great blocking. Manning looking for the sticks, takes a huge hit out of bounds. Give credit to number 52, that is Hudson Long, who was mentioned in the pregame. Looks like that will be just short of the first down. It'll bring up third down and about 1. So a nice tough catch and run there by Mason Manning. See you, brother. Love you, Brexton. Love you too. Brexton Green, Mundell Farms Products, superstar athlete, football, baseball, powerlifting, the kid fishing, hunting, the kid does it all. Need a duck blind built? He's your man. Harmon back to pass. Going across the middle. And that'll fall, thankfully, to the ground. The intended receiver was Lagasse, who was quadruple teamed. Nababi was wide open. I'm not just saying that as his daddy. But Harmon was looking for Lagasse the whole way. And that'll fortunately fall to the ground. That'll bring up 4th down and 1.
Yeah, everybody jumped on Lagasse there. Ben tried to needle, thread the needle, and it just didn't happen. And Nick is standing over there in the end zone going, "Hey, I'm open."
So this might be a run for Nababi. We'll see. Maybe a little play action. Blitz is on. It'll be given to Nababi right side. He's got a small lane. Bowls over a few guys. Looks like that'll be enough for the first down as he basically took number 32, Dalton Atkinson, for a ride.
Put him on the backpack.
Backpack, yeah.
Looking for a ride there for the first down.
That'll be first down and goal. So first down and goal for the Wildcats. 38 seconds left, no timeouts. So we'll see Shackford's clock management. He'll go ahead and look for the pass coming back underneath and catch by Mason Manning. Yes, sir. Couldn't tell. It was so nonchalant. 6-yard touchdown. Mason Manning from Ben Harmon, and the Cashion Wildcats get another one right before the half.
I think Mason caught it and turned around at the same time just looking for a flag. Did I really score a touchdown here?
So Manning's second touchdown on the night. He's got definitely well over 100 yards receiving. We've got Jerry out for the extra point as the Cashion Wildcats put 6 more on the board and lead 40-7.
No, this isn't Jerry. This is
Oh, I apologize. This is Paul Ruble.
That's right.
Our Spanish international exchange student, and it's good. Ruble with the extra point. They'll carry him off the field. It was great to
I wonder
meet
if
him.
any international players have ever scored a point in a Oklahoma playoff football game.
I bet it's happened.
Okay.
Maybe.
I bet it's
don't
happened,
know.
but it's a small group. It's a small
It's probably
group.
a small number.
It's an elite club.
But I'll tell you, how about an international student and a girl and a female? How about that? That's probably never happened.
Yep.
So the Cashion Wildcats with Paul Ruble's boot puts another point, and the Cashion Wildcats lead 41-7. It was a 5-yard, I apologize, a 6-yard, 74-yard drive capped by Mason Manning, catching the ball right at the goal line. His second touchdown of the night. The Wildcats are cruising here in the first half.
And yep, I think we may get to the. Nope, we're going to be one touchdown short.
You never know.
Of
you
that.
never know.
No, that is true. We've
know.
had a few defensive touchdowns
28
tonight.
seconds. We already got 2 pick sixes. If I'm Coach Norman, I'm probably taking a knee if I get it. But you never know. It's playoffs. Last game. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe try to build to the future. You talked about it being a younger team.
There's no practicing for the next game after this one. So.
Right. So deep is number 20. That is Nathan Harpole now for the Dibble Demons. Up back will be Ed Perez, the freshman, as well as number 21, Lane Lesser on the other side. Bryson Hogan with a wobbler. We have a flag, offsides.
Jeez.
False start, illegal procedure, whatever you want to call. So it looks like the Cashion Wildcats were a little early on that one. Appreciate you guys joining us here on Cashion Wildcats TV. Can't do it without you. Absolutely love it. If you've got any feedback, make sure you hit us up on Twitter or Facebook at TV Cashion or at Cashion Wildcats TV on Facebook. We don't have an Instagram page. Maybe Drew can get that going for us. But you're pretty good with stories and
I dabble in Instagram.
You do a good job, as the kids say. But certainly appreciate you guys following us on social media. Always have updates through the week. Hogan with the kickoff now from the 35. High hanger. That's going to land right on the 25. It's good. We're going to fake reverse. Actually, number 20 will keep it. Cut back Nathan Harpole and eventually tackled Jackson Vandruff. Guess who? We also have a Jaden Miller sighting, as well as number 15, our man Tanner Dean, another senior.
Dagan Lloyd was in on that tackle too.
Dagan Lloyd, Dagan Lloyd, number 77.
Oh, 55.
So the Demons will take over their 9th possession. I don't have enough lines. I usually just have 10 for the entire game. Their 9th possession of the half. 21 seconds left.
Here, we've got an extra line paper for you on this side.
Right around the 29-yard line. Cashion Wildcats forcing multiple punts, multiple turnovers. Inside run by Norman. He'll met by Joey Wilson. Don't tackle him too hard, Joey. Joey brings him down. That'll be a loss. That'll be right at the line of scrimmage. 10 seconds left, and most likely that'll be it as the Coach Norman and then Demons will wave the white flag, at least here in the first half. And that's it as the Cashion Wildcats head to the locker room. 41-7 here, first round playoffs. Appreciate you guys joining us here at Cashion Wildcats TV. As Drew's mentioned, we have a phenomenal halftime set for you guys. We're going to go to a quick timeout. Be right back. Please don't go away.
4,300. Go Wildcats and number 88. Let's have a great year.
Wildcat up! Get you some!
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Hey, before we go away, I want to make sure and give a shout out to Coach Amber Hopgood and Casey Williams as the Cashion cheerleaders will be heading to state this Saturday and more at 9:20 at Moore High School. Definitely please show up if you can. It will be on NFSH if you want to pay to watch it. But certainly go out and cheer on our cheerleaders as they do a fantastic job for us. The cheer squad has finished no less than 4th place in any game day cheer event. And they finished, I believe, in 4th out of 40 competitors to basically get themselves in a position to get that gold cup. So with that, we'll leave it here for the Cashion Wildcat cheer team.
Cashion fans, for your halftime entertainment, please welcome to the field your Cashion High School Wildcat cheerleaders. Tonight, these ladies will be performing the same game day routine. They will be performing at 9:10 a.m. tomorrow morning at Moore High School in the 2A Game Day State Championship. Your senior cheerleaders, Bailey Frazier, Zoe Slip. Juniors, Avery Cotter, Chloe Cherry, Avery Gray, Jaden Hudson, Cheyenne Martinez. Your sophomores, Bailey Garrett, Kaylee Gillian, Lauren Jenkins, Rayleigh Nance, Reese Williams. And your freshmen, Bella Butler, Abby Hopgood, Sierra McCracken, and Megan Schaefer. Cashion fans, let's hear it for these ladies. And let's get to Moore High School tomorrow, 9:10 a.m. They will be competing for the Game Day State Championship. Good luck, ladies.
Founded by Jesse and Amy McCracken, Rural Pest Solutions is a Cashion-based, family-owned and operated company. Our focus is on providing the highest level of customer service while effectively treating many common invaders, including spiders, ants, roaches, mice, mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, and termites. Flexible scheduling and superior customer service are our top priority. Call us today to schedule your appointment. 405-283-6565.
Cashion FBC is a church seeking to grow in Christ and our love for the body of Christ. With ministries from children to youth to adults, we strive to present the gospel in an engaging and meaningful way. Sunday school meets at 9:45 a.m. and worship starts at 11 a.m. Children and youth meet on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Please check our website at cashionfbc.org for more information, and we hope to see you this Sunday, located a half-mile east of Cashion.
Dr. Matt Diesel.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to our halftime special. Normally it's Lessons with Lane with he and I, but in honor of the Veterans Day stuff going on this week, we have Major General Ricky G. Adams. Thank you for joining us. It's seriously an honor. I tried to read all of your accomplishments and everything else before coming in here, and it would have taken me the whole first half. But just to kind of run down a few of them, just some brief points. Like I said, I could never possibly list all of them. But your assignments, 26 totaled as from 2012 from the record that I saw, and correct me if I mispronounce or anything. But those range from June 1st of 1982 to April 26th of 2011. Some of your awards, I think 14 total, was on the page that I had seen. The Legion of Merit, the Bronze Star, the Army Commendation Medal, the Army Achievement Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, and the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal. As far as some civilian occupations, former Deputy Chief of the Highway Patrolman, current Assistant Commissioner, correct?
Current director of the OSBI.
Current director of the OSBI. So, and on this, is it former commissioner of the Oklahoma Department of Public Safety?
It's former assistant commissioner there, yes.
And then, as far as rank goes, from June 28th of 1982, is promotions that I read. It was second lieutenant in the Army National Guard, and then the last one, of course, in April 13th of 2011, Major General of the Army National Guard.
Yes.
As far as memberships and pro affiliations, those include, I think, 9 total, but just a few. The Veterans of Foreign Wars, the United States Army War College Alumni Association, the International Association of Chiefs of Police, Oklahoma State Troopers Association, FBI National Academy Associates. I mean, just all kinds. I mean, I could have read all of them, but again, we'd take up the whole 15 minutes half that we have. Dates of promotion, your first one, like I had said, second lieutenant, the 28th of June, 1982, and then the last one, Major General of the Army National Guard, 13th of April, 2011. So, I mean, that's
like a guy that couldn't hold the job very much.
But talking about that, it looks on, as far as your career goes, why at the beginning did you decide you were going to go into the military?
I had family members that had been in the military when I was a young man growing up, uncles. All those uncles had served in both the Army and the Air Force. I felt like it was the thing to do. It was a duty that I felt like that as a young man that I felt you needed to answer the call of your country. It wasn't a popular time when I enlisted. 1978 was 3 years after the Vietnam War had ended. But enlisted as an enlisted man there, and then come up through the ranks. The Army Guard offered an opportunity to be able to serve both a civilian at home and then a soldier at war if you were ever called upon to do that. And I had an opportunity to do that over the course of my career.
Absolutely. And as far as you said you joined, obviously you listed your reason. What made you, at what point in your career in the military did you decide to make a career out of it?
I got in at 18. Seemed to go pretty good as a beginning with it. I really liked the camaraderie and the teamwork that went on. It was something that appealed to me. I found out that I was pretty good at it, and kind of made a career out of it. One day I looked up and 20 years had passed, and so I just continued to stay on. It was a pleasure to serve over those years.
Absolutely, and thank you for your service on that. But as far as the other accomplishments that I listed, I mean, it seems that every other position that you went to, whether it was in the military or on the civilian side of things, you kind of rose through the ranks pretty quickly. What in your opinion makes you successful and able to, whether it be the military or like you'd mentioned the the OSBI, the Highway Patrol. What makes you successful in that aspect of being able to rise through the ranks and be successful?
I think a lot of that's just opportunity, being prepared. It's kind of like when the coach puts you in the game here, you got to be ready to go in when they put you in there and they do a good job while you're there. I think ethics and your faith, attachment to your faith, and trying to maintain your skills, that you know what you're doing and you are competent and competent as you're running and doing each of the opportunities. And then when you get a chance to step into the next position, you do the best job you can. And I think probably a big thing is never be afraid to take on a challenge. Lots of people lots of times will shrink back if they think that they maybe not be ready for something. But I always found that learn it as you go if you have to. So.
Well, I went to church with you for 20 years. I didn't know you were that big of a deal. I
know. I feel like we should have credentials to be able to be in here.
Pay more attention to you now at church.
Well, I tried to stay as far in the background as possible.
So where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Elk City, Oklahoma. Okay. Grew up out there. My dad was a Baptist minister there in town where I grew up at, and had an opportunity. I played football, basketball, and all the things there. My wife was a gal from Cordell. Met her, and we got married out there and at town. Father married us out there, and 1978 we enlisted, and I spent my first anniversary in basic training. So that wasn't a great anniversary present for my wife.
That's what I admire about you so much is, again, I've been going to church with you for 20 years and would never know that you were that kind of a guy as far as importance goes in the Oklahoma ranks. And so I think it's a great tribute to you, to your humbleness and your willing to serve our country.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I want to thank all the veterans that are out here today, and really the town of Cashion for what they do to put on a Veterans Day ceremony like this. The reason we get to sit underneath these Friday night lights and watch these young men come out here and play as a team and succeed is because of people, young, rough and ready men like them somewhere around the country has stood their watch and have protected our freedoms and our way of life. And appreciate what we do here in Cashion to recognize that, and really across the country, because I think we've got a lot of great youth here. And a lot of people worry about where we're going to be in the future with our youth. That's never been something that I've worried about. I served in Afghanistan with a lot of young people there, a lot of folks that didn't come from the generation I necessarily come from, but they were just as bright, just as patriotic, and just as committed to the cause as anybody that's probably ever served. They're just different.
Right.
As far as, and you talked about what Veterans Day means to you, and a lot of times when you talk to service members or anything else, they're glad to do it. They'd all go back and do it again. And you, obviously, being in Afghanistan and the list of awards, the Global War on Terrorism, the Afghan Campaign Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, and you talked about your faith. What drives you, and during those times of obvious, struggles and adversity, what drives you and kept you going through obviously many different struggles, many different things that you had to fight against?
Your faith. Your faith always gives you something to be grounded to. Your family. Family's a big deal for us. Those have always been a real close foundations that you draw back to, and you could draw upon. And then, of course, the men and women that served around you were always there. I mean, they're the folks that are the partners with you when you're out in the field, or when you're in training, or even the ones that served with you in your civilian career out there. Those folks are always people that you could lean on when you needed them.
And you were heavily involved when the tornado come through Cashion. You were involved in the cleanup and a lot of the coordination through that tornado as well.
I was the chief of the Highway Patrol at the time when that occurred. It was a pleasure to have an opportunity to come out here when the community was in time of need and bring our resources and do the best we could to try to help both in the rescue efforts and the cleanup.
So you grew up in Elk City. You raised family in Cashion. Your daughters went to school at Cashion, and then you you were gone from Cashion for just a little while, and then you're back in the town of Cashion.
That's correct. Both my daughters graduated from here. My oldest daughter, Ricky, she graduated, I think, in '99. She's currently at the Pentagon, serving on Joint Staff. She's a lieutenant colonel up there. My youngest daughter, Kate, which is here tonight, and her husband, Zach. Zach served with me in Afghanistan. We were not in the same unit, but he was there at the same time I was. Puts a little extra stress on your family when you're there and have to go through that. Grandson Dagan was born in the overtime against Boise State and OU once I got back. But my daughter, it was time to go to the hospital, and we were like, could you wait just a second, because it's the middle of the overtime game against Boise State. So then both my oldest daughter and her husband, Ron, both also served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and we had those two grandkids there with us for a year while they were deployed both simultaneously overseas.
So where were you first deployed at? What was your first?
My first deployment was in Afghanistan.
Okay.
I was the director of the National Police Reform Directorate there for the Combined Transition Security Command there in Afghanistan.
As far as, I admire you more when we're just sitting here talking to you. But as far as advice that you would give to anybody, or especially young people, obviously your kid's extremely successful. They've all done very well. You've instilled something in them, and you've obviously had a great career, and it looks like everything that you've done. So what advice would you give to anybody at any stage in life, particularly younger people?
Looking to your future. Take care of your the things that matter. Those things that your ethics, your faith, ensuring you take care of your education. Hard work gets you someplace in life. Really stay focused on that. Stay focused on your family. Prepare yourself for the opportunities that might come over the horizon. I've been pretty lucky, but I can also say I don't really believe in luck. I believe you make your own luck to a large degree by putting yourself in the opportunity to be successful. So if you're educationally prepared, you go and you prepare yourself for whatever you're going to do. Most of these kids will never be professional football players. Some may, but they'll be professionals in something, in some form of a job out there, and just be the best you can be at whatever that is. And that's what makes America great. That's why we are out here tonight doing the things that we do. These kids on both sides of this field, if we ever are called back into action someday and have to do something overseas or something, we had veterans from our opponent that was here on the field with us. Whenever you look at something like that, you realize we're all Americans. And at the end of the day, we have a good time here tonight watching a ball game. We like for them to do a really good job and represent their communities well. But when it comes to veterans, we're from all kinds of communities from all over the United States, in our territories. And if you're all on the field of battle, you're all one team.
Absolutely. Well, I can't speak for Dibble, but I'm glad that you're on our side of the deal on this. I'm happy that you're here. I wish we could stay out here the entire time. Looks like we've got about 1:30 left. If they could score a few more touchdowns, I'd say we could just do this the rest of the game. But they might be mad at us. But I can't thank you enough for coming up here and doing this with us. It was an honor just reading over all of your achievements and accolades and everything else. I really appreciate you coming up here and sitting and talking with us. It's been a real pleasure.
And we know that your wife's the brains behind the whole thing.
She is absolutely the brains behind the family.
Okay.
Your wife's who will make you successful in life.
Uh-huh.
So to add to the advice, you got to pick a good wife also,
good wife.
Or let her pick you, I guess.
That's right.
So I think with about counting down a minute left, I think we'll go to a quick commercial break if nobody else has anything. Again, thank you for coming up here. It's been awesome. I've loved it. I'd do it the whole rest of the game if they'd let me.
Appreciate
so.
it.
That was awesome.
Horse at Dieselhorse Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorse works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorse Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorse get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
Stream with Oklahoma's #1 high school streaming service, Squirtle.tv. Find out more at Squirtle.com/stream.
Legacy Insurance and Financial Services is proud to be on Main Street in Cashion, Oklahoma, supporting our Wildcats while riding business throughout Oklahoma and surrounding states. Legacy agents who share over 40 years of experience will shop many carriers to fulfill all of your insurance and investment needs. We welcome face-to-face meetings, but if your needs require an online virtual relationship, we are versed at those too. Let the team of Chris Gibson, Chris Cochran, Aaron Phoenix, and Christina Branson at Legacy Insurance and Financial Services help you build your own legacy, one you will be proud to live and to leave.
Team up with Pioneer iVideo and start streaming the most popular TV shows and movies from your favorite devices today. Download the iVideo app and start watching anywhere in your home using Pioneer Internet. Each package includes free high-definition and cloud DVR features like video on demand, Restart TV, and Replay TV, just in case you forget to record a program. Visit GoPioneer.com for more details and compatible devices. Some restrictions apply.
At Water Heater Man, we specialize in repairing and replacing all water heaters. We service the OKC Metro and surrounding towns with fast, reliable service. We keep our vans fully stocked with essential parts needed for basic repairs, and new tanks are always on the vans ready to go. We offer free estimates on all jobs with financing options available. We match manufacturer's warranty for all newly replaced water heaters. We'll get your water heater back up and running as fast as possible so you don't have to put your life on hold waiting for service. Give us a call today. 405-844-TANK. That's 405-844-8265. Go Wildcats!
Can we go in this camera or the other camera? All right, welcome back to Cashion Wildcats TV Football Production Playoff 2021. I'm Neiman Abavi here at beautiful Maxon Field, joined by my guys, my man, my team, Chris Gibson and Drew Baker, and we're your Cashion Wildcats, number one ranked in the state of Oklahoma in Class A. Beating up on the Dibble Demons 41-7. It's been all Cashion, all first half outside of a couple of fumbles. The Cashion Wildcats have run rampant on both sides. A couple of pick sixes on the night by Landon Lagasse. Another 42-yard touchdown grab by him. Mason Manning with 2 touchdowns as well. Nick Nabavi on a little swing pass that opened the day, and the Cashion Wildcats have been tearing it up. Guys, I know we've got stats to review, etc., but what's the one thing that stands out to you all in terms of the Cashion Wildcats' performance?
My thing that stands out is the fact that we can pretty much do anything we want to on the offensive side of the ball as far as passing the ball. The kids are doing a great job of protecting the boys up front. The big guys up front are doing a great job of protecting Ben. Ben's doing a good job of standing in that pocket, finding and open receivers. The receivers are doing a great job of getting open and then catching the ball and making big plays after it. On the defensive side of the ball, what stands out to me is in that first half, I mean, like I said, I don't think there was positive yardage in the first quarter. And then the second quarter kind of got lax a little bit, let them get down there, score, and then Coach Wood went out there and just challenged them. And like Braxton said, probably said, get after it, boys, and show who we are. And then right after that was pick six, went the other way for a touchdown for the Wildcats.
Well, if you think about stats right now, things that stand out, again, first downs, not a big difference, 7 for Cashion, 6 for Dibble. Yards, though, that's the difference, 304 for Cashion, 100 for Dibble. Cashion, Ben Harmon, 11 for 13, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Rushing game has been basically obsolete. I know Nick Nabavi had basically 2 carries for about 11 yards just towards the second half of the second part of the second quarter, but they haven't needed to.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I mean, I was worried coming into this part of the playoffs that people would start to figure out a way to shut down Landon Lagasse, and that if that ever happened, we'd be in a problem with it. And so far, that hasn't happened, which is I really like that we're able to do kind of pretty much whatever you want, like you said, Chris, on offense.
Yeah, and like you said, Neiman, Nick's kind of been nowhere to be seen, but he hasn't had to. I mean, when you're sitting back and just hitting wide receivers open 20 yards down the field, let's keep doing it.
Yep. Cashion only had 6 possessions. Again, the average drive start was right around the 42-yard line. Penalty-wise, though, I was wrong. It's only 7 for 49 for Dibble, 6 for Cashion for 65. And ultimately, we talked about Jackson Vandruff. He actually was not the leading tackler. Gavin Phippen was. But Jackson was right behind him. Gavin did a fantastic job at safety tonight. Tackles for loss, 9 for minus 35 yards. Bryson Hogan with the initial kick. That'll go out to looks like it will be number 20, Nathan Harpole. He'll cut back. And guess who? Jackson Vandruff is there. Dagan Lloyd, among others. Tanner Dean, he's still loose.
He's
Gets
gone.
a block. He has a chance. It looks like he will have a chance unless Cooper Frazee's able to chase him down, the freshman or the sophomore. And that'll be a touchdown. Not sure what the heck happened there.
No flag. That's a touchdown.
We got any instant replay on that kickoff?
I thought he was down. I'm not sure how he wasn't down.
I did too.
Everybody else is wondering why he wasn't called down.
Here's the replay here. We'll see. I mean, there was 4 guys that had him down unless he went down and landed on somebody maybe is the only thing I could think of. We'll see here. They're about to kick the
It's
extra
all right.
point.
Leave it on the instant replay.
And we'll see here. Like I
As
said, there
we're
was
all
about 4
watching.
guys. And he went down.
Oh, he gave the ball.
Yeah,
he gave the ball.
It was a forward fumble, and that's what it was. That was strange. Caleb Williams and Brooks Kennedy in the OU Kansas game.
Real smooth transition right there. I didn't even notice that the ball had changed hands.
So Nathan Harpole, who had it, was down. They didn't call him down. As he was going down, I guess it was in time, handing it off to his buddy, Lane Lesser. Tricked out everybody, and Lane Lesser goes the distance for the touchdown, and it will be the Dibble Demons taking the opening kickoff for a touchdown.
Well, if you could do that every time, you'd have a heck of a
I know.
return.
If you could make that a science, you would you'd give some people some problems on the special team
the
side of the
limit here
ball.
is that still a forward handoff.
That's what I'm thinking.
And that still should be considered.
Penalty flag after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct.
So that still was a forward handoff while that wasn't behind the line of scrimmage. There is no line of scrimmage on a kickoff. That should be considered a forward handoff and should have been called dead at that point with a mark off. But nonetheless, it will be a touchdown. Kick is up. It looks like that will go through. And it's unfortunate that the referees, I guess since we didn't see it, and of course we have hawk vision.
Yeah. And
somebody
here,
from
we'll watch
Hawk
the
vision.
replay again. Here's the kick, and like you said, he gets wrapped up right there at the beginning. Vandruff was there. Dagan Lloyd was there.
Right as that host of Wildcats come up, you can see somewhere in the midst of that ball is changes hands.
He was up, but he handed the ball forward. That
Yes.
should have been a penalty. But nonetheless, it wasn't called. I think everyone was fooled at the time. Give credit to Cooper Frazee on the effort on the 80-yard run to try to chase him down. Did make effort. But nonetheless, it'll be number 21, Lane Lesser, with the touchdown, and it will be 41-14.
Well, if that's the way they score, and that's the only way they can score, is a fluke handoff to somebody on a kickoff, I think we'll be all right.
Maybe we can have a resident official call in and let us know from their perspective on that. But unlike the Brooks Kennedy handoff or the Caleb Williams strip of Brooks Kennedy, that was still behind the line of scrimmage. There is no line of scrimmage here. And was the penalty on Cashion? I think it was on Dibble.
He pointed towards Dibble.
He didn't say after the player. I didn't hear.
He pointed towards.
But they marked it off against Cashion. So I'm not sure what happened there on the
So the mark-off, I'm not sure in terms of the kickoff. I guess it will be, it was on Cashion, so it was inappropriately mentioned against Dibble in the beginning. So the mark-off, everything going right for Dibble here in the second half. Couldn't ask for a better start for Coach Norman. If you're going to go out swinging at the 45, most likely an onside kick here. There's no reason why it wouldn't be. Last time the onside kick was recovered, it did not go 10 yards, but unfortunately Cashion Wildcat touched it prior to going 10. This time the Cashion Wildcats will be 2 yards back behind that line, making sure that it has to cross before they come and get it.
And I looked at the replay again. I mean, it was close. I mean, when the kid handed off, he may have been right there along with him.
Chris, it was forward. It's okay.
Another flag on the play here. Sideline Cashion, I think.
Sideline warning.
So our official crew here, led by Troy Niles, have been extra busy tonight, calling just about everything except missing the forward handoff. And so it will be a sideline warning for the Cashion Wildcats. We can't have a football game without a warning for the coaches. They're actually going to step it off another 5. What's the case here? Isn't that a warning for us? That's our first warning.
I don't guess you get a warning. I guess the only warning is the one they gave to Dibble earlier, and we got actual penalty.
Not sure who the side judge here is, but Coach Shack and him were having quite the debate.
So now it'll be moved up to the 40-yard line. And so the line judge is still telling the Cashion Wildcats where to stand on their own sideline, where he's nowhere in the line of messing up anybody right now. So kickoff here. Hey, we can't have a game without a little bit of controversy. So Dibble kicking it off, going through, coming up, and it will be recovered by the Cashion Wildcats. Somebody paid the price for it for the Dibble Demons.
Yeah, they were ready for that, and pretty much that front line let it go through, and then just blew up those kids trying to get it. And we had a receiver back there.
That was Nick Bobby there with the catch.
Hey, he's got receiver hands.
He does. For some reason, we have Dibble 41 to 8. We'll go ahead and get that score fixed here. All right, so 1st and 10, first possession for the Cashion Wildcats from the 26. Shotgun formation for the Wildcats. Trips right. Soft zone here. Looks like we might have another screen here coming out to Mason Manning on the left. It sure is. See if he can get some blocks. He gets a block from Gilbert. Actually, Gilbert misses the first block and goes down. If Gilbert gets that block, and maybe another big play for Manning. So it'll be basically a gain of 0. Bring him second down.
Yeah, the kid jumped it real quick, got up there. Seth, I think he was just wanting to make sure he didn't have a block in the back. That would have been worse than the kid coming up and making the tackle there. And but you got to get in front of him, get the block for that play to work.
11:08, third quarter action here. Appreciate you guys joining us here on Cashion Wildcats TV, Homer Television for the Cashion Wildcats. Give it underneath Nabavi's got a big hole. Nice cutback. Great vision there. Carries the pile, backpack, and that's like that'll be enough for a first down as Nick Nabavi carries the entire Demon team across the first down line for a carry of about, looks like 15 yards.
And
he's just like a little concealed weapon. You just pull him out whenever you need him to, and Nick Nabavi's going to get us the first down.
Yeah, and I think that there was literally 8 guys on his back, and he would just kept pumping those legs. They had him stopped short of the first down, about 5 yards, and Nick just kept churning away enough to get the first down for the Wildcats.
So 1st and 10 from the 40. Trips up top on the boundary side. Harmon, he'll keep. He's going to look for that slant to Lagasse. Keeps it wisely, cuts up. He's got a lane. Gets across, and he's gone! Ben Harmon, see you later! Touchdown! Cashion Wildcats, 60-yard run. Put another one on the board.
And I've got to get the replay up there. I'm pretty sure Ben squeezed right between 2 Dibble players, and they ran square into each other and just now getting up. So I've got to get that
fantastic run by Ben. Absolutely fantastic.
You know, Ben's speed continues to surprise me over and over again. I've been watching this kid since he's been in 4th grade. I shouldn't be surprised. Fantastic athlete. What a run.
Like I said earlier, if you go back, watch some week 1 footage and then watch this footage right here, it's going to surprise you how, just in this season alone, how much better of a player he's gotten.
Bryson Hogan with the extra point opportunity here as the Cashion Wildcats put another 6, basically a 3-play drive that goes 74 yards. Kick is up. It's a knuckler, but it's good. Bryson Hogan puts it through, and the Cashion Wildcats put another one on the board, lead 48-14.
Here's that replay. There's nothing there. He pulls it down, and he squeezes right in between those two kids. They run into each other, and then he is gone. Nobody's catching Ben when he gets out in the open space like that. Another quick strike for the Cashion Wildcat offense.
All right, so Cashion Wildcats respond after that missed forward fumble by the Dibble Demons on the kickoff that goes basically 80. And they respond on a 4-play, again, 74-yard drive. Ben Harmon, 60 of that on one run. Fantastic run. Cashion Wildcats go out on kickoff return. Looks like got a...
We were talking about stats earlier. The stat that kind of jumped out at me that whenever I was looking at it, I was looking at receiving yards. I think Landon only had 74 yards in that first half, and Mason had, I think, over 150 yards in the first half. Mason had 1 touchdown, and Landon had 3. Only 1 receiving touchdown, but 2 on the defensive side of the football.
And like we had said earlier, we looked. Of course, it's been a couple weeks ago, and like I said, it's changed for sure since then. But a couple weeks ago, when we looked at the stats, as far as total yards went, Mason and Landon were pretty close, within a couple hundred points of each other on that total yardage. But what separated Landon and Mason was just the touchdown factor.
Yeah, I think Landon had about 200 yards more than Mason.
Yeah, I think so.
1,000, 1,100 to 1,300, 1,400. That's exactly right. Hogan with the kickoff. Let's see what happens here on this particular one. Is number 20. Harpole takes it, goes to the right. Nathan Ababi with the miss. No block in the back call. Looks like he's still on his feet. No forward fumble on that one. And he eventually goes down around the 35. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dibble Demons. Second possession of the night, or the first of the second half.
Looks like we're going to have a bunch of freshmen and sophomores come out and get a lot of playoff experience in the second half.
First down and 10 on their own 35-yard line.
So out there, it definitely looks that way as we've got Ryan Yandel, Dagan Lloyd. We've got number 63, that is Caden Seeley out there, as well as you see Nathan Ababi at corner, Cooper Frazee, sophomore, at corner. Across the middle, we've got Caleb Duran, Nick Jolliffe. Little keep back inside to Harpole, nowhere to go. Great job by initially on the hit there by number 26. That was our man Titus Davis, eventually brought down. Nice work there by Lloyd as well. So again, Tanner Dean at safety. And looks like number 17, Kai Gilbert as well. So not one starter out there, so let's see what happens here.
I'm glad to see Kai out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of the injuries that he's had, and to battle back. His mom actually came into my office earlier in the week, and she was very appreciative that we broadcast these games. She says, I watch the games. I'm at the games, but I like to listen to y'all so I know what's going on. And I was
Double move. Nababi in coverage against number 44. Great coverage. Nathan Nababi was not going to bite on that double move pass attempt to number 44. Gavin Seal, the junior, 6'2", 160. And nice work there by the Cashion defense to bring up 3rd down and long.
There's a lot of people, like Chris, like you were mentioning, they go back, even if they were here, they go back and watch it. General Adams just said that they go back and they watch if his grandson gets in, they go back and they go to the points where he gets in, they go back and watch it. So,
and that's what we're here for. So, again, checking in for the Dibble Demons, number 1, that's Trey Ott, the freshman quarterback, 6'2", 200. He's seen quite a bit of playing time this year in passing situations.
Watch out for a pass when he comes in the ball game. They did that little reverse with him earlier, trying to get him to throw the ball, and that's pretty much why they bring him in, is to see if they can open it up and get some yardage down the field.
So there'll be a timeout there by Coach Norman, the Dibble Demons. We'll go to timeout. Be right back. It's Cashion Wildcats TV.
Cashion Shape Up Fitness is locally owned and operated with no contracts or sign-up fees. Our rates start at only $30 per month, and we have tanning available. Everything you need to work on your health and fitness. So contact Amber Lee to sign up today, 405-538-8248. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Cashion Shape Up Fitness.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out 'cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your gray.
This is Grain and Grange Market, the coolest little boutique you've never heard of. Come see us.
Welcome back to Cashion Wildcats TV. Third quarter action. Cashion Wildcats up 48-14. 8:52 left here in the third quarter. Neiman Abavi, Chris Gibson, Drew Baker. Cashion Wildcats on defense. Fumble play. That will be on the ground. It should be recovered. It is recovered by the Demons, but not after a big loss. Great job. And was that, looks like Ryan Yandel on the tackle?
Yeah, Yandel came in and just lit him up. And the kid was, I thought he was down, but
they should have blown the whistle.
They didn't blow the whistle, so he finished the play and just made a big hit there on the quarterback.
So Ed Perez was the intended running back, or in essence, in that particular play, as Trey Ott fumbled the initial snap. That'll bring up fourth down and super long, about 18. No one back in punt coverage for the Cashion Wildcats as number 12 boots that one away. That will land at the 50, and another great bounce. The punting bounces for the Demons has been fantastic, as that we're rolling Cashion territory right around the 39. So
is that 14?
Yes, it should be 14.
Todd Miller's Grain and Grange commercials coming on the before we went back from our break. He's like the Donald Trump of all of his businesses going on here. I've heard rumors he might be opening up a barbecue place, a couple Grain and Grange stores.
I'm not one for furniture, but if he opens up a barbecue place, I'm going to be asking for some free taters.
I'll check it out for sure.
I'm checking that out.
If you saw his Facebook post, he just one day said, "You know what? I like barbecue. I know where I could do it." He said, "I might open a barbecue restaurant."
Somebody said, "Todd, you're staying up too late. You need to go to bed."
So it looks like Ben Harmon's night is done, as the Cashion Wildcats are going full JV mode, and that'll bring up our man Kai Gilbert. Love Kai Gilbert, Mundell Farms product. He'll be in quarterback. Caleb Duran, the freshman. And
flag on the play.
We have another flag on. We have a sideline warning again.
Oh my!
I don't even think they're past the hash mark.
No, I guess this one's going to go against the Dibble. I guess maybe offsides. I'm not sure what's going on.
No,
here.
It was against us. I mean, it was sideline warning. That's what they said.
Conduct, the call against Cashion.
Oh,
not a sideline warning. Correction on that.
So I guess Coach Shack or somebody getting their money's worth over there with the line judge, James Ferris. So
I always feel bad for the line judge that's on our side of the sideline.
That's a big mark off. That's 15. So let's Kai was like, man, let's go, and then now he's staring at. First and 15 from the 38. Blitz is on.
More than 15. First and 25. First and 20 now.
It's like we have a false start. Would that be against Cashion or offsides? Yeah, it'll be false start.
False start on the Wildcats.
The kid jumped to offsides.
Dead ball, false start.
Guess we must have drew him off.
All right, so let's keep going backwards. Maybe we can go forward. So first and a ton, give to Caleb Duran. He's got a nice little hole. Comes forward there. He'll fall forward for about a couple. And it'll bring up second down and quadruple sticks here.
Number 13, Caleb Duran on the carry for Cashion.
I absolutely love Caleb Duran, watching him in JV and mop-up duty. He's got great motor. Does a great job. He's done phenomenal. That's fine. He's done phenomenal at linebacker for us in filling in.
I was going to say, he's done had a lot of big-time minutes on the defensive side of the ball, playing that middle linebacker position, and has done well for a freshman to jump in there, and that's a major spot of their defense.
Let's see if Coach Shack lets Gilbert throw the ball a little bit here. They're going to run that clock all the way down, most likely going to hand it off. Duran with the give. He's got a good hole. You get a block or two. Falls forward, gets bent backwards. Good job by their Duran. Hit that hole. Great job by the offensive line. He gets a few more. Gets back to the 29. It'll be third down and about, looks like about 20. It is 20 from the 27. So give a shout out to Lloyd. Dagan Lloyd, Nick Jolliffe, we got Seeley. Who else do we have there on the offensive line?
Is that Matthew Stockton?
Matthew Stockton, as well.
Always
as
awesome
Handel.
to see those younger guys coming in, especially in these playoff games.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about Gilbert and Tanner Dean, as well as Duran. We've got Max Higdon, freshman, out there with Cooper Frazee, the sophomore. Nabavi out here, aced out on number 21, the sophomore as well. Snap, blitz is on. Keeper by Gilbert. He'll cut up. Face mask. They're going to
mask.
get it. And the Cashion Wildcats will get that personal foul back. And we'll get the first down here for.
No, I don't
actually,
think
no,
it's
the
a-
step off will be 3rd and 20, or 5, I guess, after the 15. So it's not an automatic first down. Thank you, Chris.
While they're stepping it off, Chris, you mentioned your Elmore City OCA game earlier. It's now 20-26 in the third quarter.
So Elmore City went up on OCA.
Yep. Hooker looks like they're going to beat Boone Apache 51-0 is the score right now in the third quarter. So Cashion pulls the win off here. Next week, the Hooker Bulldogs will come to town.
So 3rd and manageable here for the Cashion Wildcats is that penalty mark off on the personal foul face mask against Kai Gilbert. We'll get it all the way to the 46. Most likely a handoff here. Running clock, 4:53. Third quarter action. We still have a lot of game left. Gilbert let that run down, that play clock down to 7, 6, 5. Snap. Give to Duran left side. Looking for a hole. He finds one. He's got the first down. Cut through. Great job, Caleb Duran, showing vision, power, and give credit to the offensive line getting that nice initial hole, and that'll be a first down for the Cashion Wildcats.
Yeah, Duran did a good job of getting the ball, kind of going down that line. When he saw the hole that the line created, put his head down, put a foot in the ground, and went and got that first down and more there for the big first down for the Cashion Wildcats.
So now the ball in Demon territory right around the 45-yard line. Third quarter action, clock running, 4:01 left here in the third quarter. Play clock down to 9. Cashion will go 2 here on the field side boundary. Max Higdon aced out by himself. Snap, give to Duran left side, cuts back in. That time he'll get about 1, and it'll be a tackle. And they'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and you watched a lot more JV games than I did. This is something that we're going to see next year. We're probably going to see Kai Gilbert line up at quarterback, something that we're not going to be used to. We're used to seeing Ben Harmon. The last 3 years, every game, I think he might have missed one game in there.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And in that time, and just a constant over the last 3 years of Ben Harmon back there. And I think next year we might see Kai Gilbert line up at quarterback for the Cashion Wildcats.
Keeper by Gilbert. He'll cut back outside. He's got a small little lane. Good blocking on that left side. Looks like he'll get about 4. That'll bring up 3rd down at about 5.5, 6.
Gilbert on the carry.
In the few highlights that I saw of some of the junior high or JV games, looked like he can throw the ball if he's got time. He can kind of step into it. He's got a good arm. I think he'll have a pretty good rapport with one of the receivers. Benedia's got a twin brother, and
You would think.
I think over the summer we're gonna get to see how good he can be in that 7-on-7 and really gel with some of these receivers. Nathan Nabavi out there at receiver, freshman. I think he will be a big asset next year on the offensive side of the ball.
So Duran with the give. He'll crawl forward. Nice push. And you know what I love about this line? They're getting a good push forward. And that'll bring up 4th down and about, looks like 2. Right around the 37-yard line.
4th down and 2.
So here's the guess. Is it a Duran handoff or a Gilbert keep?
I'm guessing Duran's going to get it.
Yep, I'm going to go with Duran handoff.
The guys up front have been doing a good job. Let's see if they just give it to him, find that hole, put his head down, and get those 2 yards. Where Shaq could surprise us all and throw it deep.
All right, so we've got minute 36 left here in the third quarter. And that's going to be Duran. First down run. Great drive, great forward lean. All the way down to the 31-yard line, Duran, and that'll be a Cashion first down.
While he's getting the play, the first final of the first round of playoffs in Class A, the Fairview Yellow Jackets will beat the Cordell Blue Devils 48-6. So they will advance, and Cordell ends their season against Fairview tonight.
What's that Tonkawa score?
The Tonkawa score, 27-0 Tonkawa with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
I wonder if District A3 will go undefeated today.
Nope, Hinton.
Oh, Hinton lost to Ringling. That's right.
Hinton is losing to Ringling.
1st and 10, keeper by Gilbert, left side. Got that blocked by Duran. Streaking in as linebacker number 52. That is Hudson Long. Give credit after a gain of about 1 or 1.5. They'll bring him second down and long, right around the 30-yard line.
That wasn't just a presumptive Hinton is losing. We're actually looking at the scores up here. Hinton is losing to Ringling 46-6 with 11 minutes in the fourth quarter.
That's a tall order to ask, for Hinton in first round. That's
I felt I liked the way that Hinton played us. I kind of felt for him when they drew Ringling for that seed.
Yeah, that game against Hinton was one of the strangest games we had done in a while.
Some publications have Ringling ranked number 1.
Yeah.
I believe Squirtle is one of them.
Yeah, Squirtle, they have a UCO media guy that does that for them. I'm not sure if he's come out to watch a Cashion game. But, if he wants to go with Ringling, I can't really, I can't beef on that too bad. You want to go against the team that went 16-0 last year that's undefeated in Class A play, but that's fine.
I was talking to Ryan about that, and I told him that, Ringling's ranked number 1 by Squirtle, and he said, I don't care what happens this year as long as Ringling doesn't win.
Ryan, who were you talking to?
Ryan, my brother.
Oh, gotcha.
And that'll be the end of the third quarter. Cashion Wildcats.
He's a little bitter for the Ringling team.
Yeah, we heard that in the Bobby house too.
Hey, I like it. What I wish, next year, preseason, pre-conference, we're going to go up to Pawhuska. I'd like to meet up with Ringling sometime pre-district, get a big game home and away, one year to the next, and go down there and just have a really good game.
We're playing Pawhuska next year?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yep. That's what Coach Shackelford had said. I'm pretty sure in the preseason game he said we got that lined up.
Okay.
That's the deal, though, with teams like Gore and Ringling that we've been talking about on Squirtle for the last 11 weeks. We really can't get a feel for them because they've just been blowing teams out. Yeah. So, they haven't had just the type of competition yet. So I'm curious. As playoff gets narrowed in play, I'm curious to see how they fare.
Every team in District A3 had a winning record except for Crescent.
Yeah, a lot of people said A3 was the toughest district.
I would agree.
I would agree.
All right, Cashion Wildcats started the fourth quarter, running clock here, 48-14 from the 30 on the Demon side. This has got to be just like absolute acid in the eyes watching the play clock roll down as the Cashion Wildcats work it all the way down. Give to Duran, upside, he breaks one tackle, pushing out load. There's a loose ball. Thankfully, someone blew a whistle as Duran gets a healthy carry. He'll get about 5 on that as number 21. That's all I saw. Lane Lesser jumping on top of the pile, but to give credit to the line, opening up a small hole. And Caleb Duran doing the rest as he pushed 3 Demons back 4 yards. And that'll be a 3rd down and 6 for the Wildcats.
And as we look forward to next week against Hooker, you said it. They travel well. They had a big crew of Bulldog fans here last year.
Yep.
We say it's 4.5 hours, but that did not affect them as far as getting their fans here, traveling down and supporting their team. And I'm sure they will do that again there. I guarantee they're fired up and ready to get some revenge from last year.
Yeah.
The crowd at the Fairview Hooker game last week that we could see on the Squirtle deal, it was the stands full, people standing on both sides. It was, that's a big game for them.
All right, so passing complete to sophomore Cooper Frazee, a little bit high. Hit him in the hands. Had some decent blocking there. May have had a chance to get a few yards. That'll bring up 4th down and 6, running clock, 10-13 here, 4th quarter. Looks like the Wildcats will go double up on the right side. Nathan Abavi aced out on 44 here. Gilbert back to pass. He's going to go to Nabavi deep. He's got a chance. Nabavi turns around, makes the catch. He's out of bounds, unfortunately. Great snag there, just a little bit outside, as Nabavi had to go out of bounds to catch it. And that'll be a turnover of downs, as the Demons will take over 1st and 10 from the 27.
The second game to roll in for a final for round 1 of the playoffs is Wayne at Tonkawa. Tonkawa will beat Wayne 27-0 in a final for that game. So Tonkawa advances into round 2.
Yeah, and they said Wayne had a quarterback that was just a dynamic player that could really get after people, and they, like I said, I've read a few things that said Wayne was going to give Tonkawa all they wanted, and looks like Tonkawa just went up there and shut them down. Tonkawa's defense is a tough.
They're legit.
That Tonkawa Cashion game for the district championship was a good game.
Yep. Sure was. Lot with the keeper. He'll come outside. Nababi with the tackle. Come up from the corner spot as number 1, Trey Ott, the freshman, gets maybe one. Actually, won't get no. So Nababi with the tackle. Nababi almost had that catch there on that last. He's playing with his arm. He's always the showman, always having to show off and have something going on with him.
Leave him alone.
Yeah, I love him.
The third final coming in, Chris. Gore will beat Wewoka 61-0. So
and that's another
Gore moving on to round 2.
That's another one to watch. Is Gore? We'll see them if we get past Hooker next week. Gore will be probably where we will have to travel in the 3rd round.
Which that's not terrible. I mean, there's worse drives.
So that pass skips off the ground. They count it complete. Am I the only one that saw that?
I did.
Flag
it was right in front
that
of
literally
us.
hit the ground, but
Clayton Harmon being sure to let everybody know.
Unsportsmanlike on Dibble.
Conduct, the call against Dibble.
So you hear Silky Smooth Chad Tishner make the call there on sportsmanlike conduct against
Trey's Silky Smooth too, right?
He's Silky Smooth on the court. I don't
On
know
the
what it's like
basketball
on a
court.
microphone, but we do appreciate Chad coming out and filling in at the Crescent game last week.
Absolutely.
We appreciate that. And he was kind enough. We were the one that should have probably sent out the Twitter message thanking him for coming on, but he comes on in true form and thanking us for the opportunity, and so he did great.
Not to worry, Nima. You were a one-man band. You had it stone cold.
Hey, that's what I love about this community. I had some family stuff come up, couldn't make it last minute. I mean, literally an hour before the game, and Chadwick said, "I'll be there. I'll sit in with Nima and keep him company," and he did a great job.
Pressure on. Ott rolling out. Titus Davis rolling out. Nick Jolliffe going deep. 2 Demon Deacons and 4 Wildcats in defense and coverage. Falls incomplete. Ott showing his arm. Threw that ball about 40, 50 yards.
Yeah, and he's a freshman that he has gotten a lot of play time for Dibble this year and some big minutes in some games. And he's going to be a kid that you will probably see a lot of next year if they try to throw the ball. He'll be the one in there for him. Like I said, the Eli that was in there earlier, he is a junior, so he'll be around next year too. Dibble's going to have some kids back to compete in that district next year.
Punts away here on 4th down on that incompletion. No one back for the Cashion Wildcats. So the Cashion D holding the Dibble Demons. That one will roll into Cashion territory, roll dead right around the 39, where Cashion will take over 1st and 10 with 6:11 here in the 4th quarter.
Reminiscing in the locker room beforehand, Lane and Coach Robertson and a couple other guys were talking about games that were pretty fun to go to, and one of the games they mentioned was of course it's been several years ago, they had to travel to Dibble for a playoff game, and they said the environment there was really electric, and it was a really cool football game that they all remembered.
So the Cashion offense floating in a few more new guys. I see number 84 for the Cashion Wildcats at Tribals Love Holes, as well as looks like who else do we have out there?
32.
32. Is that 32? Are you sure? That's Gavin
sure.
Crow. So Gavin Crow's hopped out there. We called out Jaden Miller and Caden Seeley's name already. Ryan Yandel. We also have
94.
94. No, we have Bryson Beitler, and he's out there at wide receiver. Handoff inside to Timmy Jones.
That's 84.
Number 34, Timmy Jones on the carry.
Timmy Jones gets about 2 or 3 on that carry.
Number 71, Jacob Steary. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
And if it wasn't for that fluke run back, man, my score would have been on point.
On point. Yep. That's another reason I'm mad about them missing that call.
Yeah. Come on.
So the Cashion offense in their huddle, 10 seconds left on the play clock, 4:42 left here. This is the tough part of the game for us and for you, but we appreciate you guys joining us. Love seeing these younger guys playing here, but we're still at the same time trying to run a little clock. Gilbert will keep it. He'll get out to the outside. He'll go nowhere as Demon Deacons swarm around him. Cole Isley, sophomore, out there among others, number 44. That is Gavin Seal. And we have another penalty. We have 2 more penalty flags. Not sure what was going on. Do you guys see what's going on?
It was something down the field. I'm not sure exactly what was going on. I think it was a kid was giving a little business to Dagan Lloyd down the field, and they called it on us. Oh,
I'm not going to tell him no.
Good ball,
Yeah.
personal foul.
So personal foul against the Demons. That will be stepped off, and that'll be a first down for the Cashion Wildcats. So I love seeing that as the Wildcats move into Demon territory as they still keep going. Goodness gracious, how big of a penalty was this? Was this 2 of them? I think this may have been a double-double. We'll just keep telling them to keep walking, and they'll settle down right around the 29-yard line as the Cashion offense will be will be taking over here. Again, we've got number 17, junior Kai Gilbert at quarterback. Timmy Jones has joined him, number 34, the freshman. He at some point, like I said, he's going to have to go by Tim. I don't think he's going to go by Timmy forever. We've got number 10, Creed Kastner, checked out at wide receiver, as well as Beitler and Travis Loveholz. So the give inside to Jones, tough runner, cuts it back in, gets about 2. I love Timmy's approach. He's a tough kid. Looks like Chandler Christensen's going to be checking in. We've got 2:54. Some folks are kind of leaving. It is still a little cold. Fortunately, the wind kind of went away tonight.
Chandler Christensen, usually we see him if there's a holder out there.
That's right. But he's going to get a run right out there.
Nice.
At wide receiver.
Another final coming in on Class A. Stroud will beat Warner 18-0 for that final.
Okay. I don't see Chandler. Where'd he go? I think he disappeared. No, he's out there at wide receiver. He does.
Yep.
Singled out. Let's see if Gilbert will throw it. He won't. He'll give it inside to Jones. Got a big hole. Cuts it back inside. Nice run by Tim Jones. Get about nice solid 6-7 yards on that. That'll bring up third down and about 3 or 4 here. Running clock. Again, 2 minutes left here in this round 1 playoff game as the Cashion Wildcats most likely will be moving to 10-1 on the season with the victory. We'll be moving on to the second round and we'll be taking on the Hooker Bulldogs.
The Hooker Bulldogs,
Not
the
the
9-1, the 9-1 ranked number 5 Hooker Bulldogs at Maxon Field.
I was listening to the Squirtle Pick'em, and they were talking about kind of the road Cashion was going to have to go on, and they were talking about you're going to have to beat Hooker, which is top 5, and then go on and beat Gore, which is top 5.
They're ranked number 2 by Squirtle.
Yep.
Tim Jones with a big run. We'll get a face mask tacked on at the end. Now he's at a first down, but it'll be a 1st and goal for the Cashion Wildcats. I was telling you Timmy Jones can run. He's a bulldozer. Gets it through. Big run. Took care of the ball. It'll be a 1st down for the Cashion Wildcats.
Talking about a backpack, man. That kid had kids on his back and just was, like we were talking about with Nick, driving his feet, and he was just churning away and getting those yards. And as he was going down, got the little extra on the face mask and got the 1st and goal for the Wildcats.
So with 52 seconds left, the Cashion Wildcats may have this last possession to punch it in. Let's see what Coach Shack draws up. We do have Chandler Christensen as well as Creed Kastner split out. We've got Kai Gilbert with Tim Jones to the right of him. Play clock all the way down to 17. 30 seconds now on the actual game clock. Snap, and it'll be a knee. So Coach Shack showing some sportsmanship, takes the knee, and that will be it as the Cashion Wildcats move to 10-1 with a 48-14 victory over the Demons. We'll be moving on to the second round of the playoffs to take on the Hooker Horny Toads. I should say the Hooker Bulldogs.
Hooker Bulldogs.
Hey, my dad said the same thing the other day. He said, they're the Hooker Horny Toads. And I said, no, they're the Hooker Bulldogs. He said, well, they had a little travel baseball team as the Hooker Horny Toads while he was growing up, and they were legit.
Yeah, they were.
And I think they still have a little, some kind of...
I think one of the travel basketball teams up there is the Hooker Horny Toads also. Nice. Ringling will beat Hinton in that final 13-53. Tough draw for Hinton against the Squirtle ranked number 1 Ringling Blue Devils.
So pretty much if the Cashion Wildcats win the championship, we'll have to go through number 5. This is all Squirtle rankings. Number 5 Hooker, number 2 Gore, and more than likely Pawhuska, which is, I don't see them on here.
I think they're 4.
Pawhuska's number 6. So they'll have to go through
number 4,
5, 5, 2, 6, and then 1 in Ringling.
5, 2, 6, and 1. Presuming nothing crazy happens on the brackets.
Well, you're gonna have to play some good teams, and you never know what might happen.
You never
between
know.
Now, you never know.
Hey, you got to beat the best and be the best, and I guarantee the Cashion Wildcats are out there saying, we don't care who we play. We're going to go out there and give it our all.
Well, like we said, the rankings really don't matter going into it. After tonight, there's a lot of teams that are done for the season and some teams that move on to 1-0. So the goal is by the end of this playoff run to be 5-0. And hopefully the Cashion Wildcats can pull that off. As next week, I don't know what the total number of teams is, but cut that in half, and that's all we're left with.
All right, so let's go to a quick commercial. Are we going to have Coach Shaq coming up?
He did not text me back yet, so after the commercial, I'm sure we'll have that answer.
One way or the other, we'll have a breakdown of the stats. We may have it with Shaq, but Lane will pop in. So hang tight with us. I appreciate you joining us tonight as the Cashion Wildcats move to 10-1 with the first-round victory over the Dibble Demons, 48-14. Hang tight. We'll be right back on Cashion Wildcats TV.
Wiggins, Sewell, and Ogletree is dedicated to championing our clients through complicated and challenging litigations. We pride ourselves on a proven track record of success, brought forth by fierce litigation skills. The lawyers and staff of our firm are dedicated to effective and personalized representation for every client who entrusts our service. Uncompromising integrity, unparalleled results. Call Wiggins, Sewell, and Ogletree, 405-232-1211. Absolute Pools, Lawns, and Landscape is not your ordinary pool builder. From traditional to exotic and anything in between, our staff offers paramount quality and service through the entire design and build process. We provide service to the entire OKC metro and surrounding towns. So relax, knowing our team is wholeheartedly committed to building a trusting and lasting relationship with you. Visit us on Facebook or give us a call today at 405-285-9729. Absolute Pools, Lawns, and Landscape.
Storm season is coming, people, and your first choice for roofing needs should be Rhino Roofing. Locally owned and operated, the Rhino specializes in all types of repair and replacement. Large scale, traditional, modern, unique roof lines, they can do it all. Protect your home and your family with the specialized services of Rhino Roofing. Visit our Facebook page today and make an appointment. Rhino Roofing is all the hype for any roof type.
Gateway Realty is a mother-daughter team that has a heart for small-town life. Both Anita and Kelly were born and raised in Cashion and are still raising their families here. Their family homesteaded in Cashion in 1908, and it's been home ever since. Anita and Kelly know this town, love this town, and would love to help make this your home too. For a friendly face and trustworthy knowledge, call these hometown girls at 405-641-7388. Go Wildcats!
Support your school's booster club and get your business in front of thousands of potential customers. Talk about a win-win. Advertising packages start on this streaming station for less than $10 a game. Call 405-726-0835 or email adam@squirtle.com right now for more information.
For 31 years and counting, Community State Bank has taken great pride in being your hometown bank. With branches located in Cashion, Dover, and Hennessy, CSB strives to reflect the small-town hospitality these communities are known for. Our friendly staff is here to serve you and provide one of the best banking experiences around, equipping our customers with the latest in banking technology combined with a personal, down-home relationship. Come into one of our local branches or visit us at www.mycsb.com. Community State Bank, small-town banking, the way it should be. Member FDIC.
All right, welcome back to Cashion Wildcats TV post-game as the Cashion Wildcats moved to 10-1 with a 48-14 victory here in the first round over the Dibble Demons at home, live from Maxson Field. It was a great night. Started with a great celebration in terms of our Veterans Day, as well as a history lesson around the Rough Riders and the city of Cashion and its founder. What a phenomenal day! And the team didn't lay down as well as they came out and fought and showed, the state, definitely in the first half, their offensive and defensive prowess. Joining me in the booth is the man of the hour, Lynn Shackelford. Coach Shackelford, thanks so much, and congrats on another playoff victory.
Thanks, yeah, it was fun.
1-0.
It's a little chilly, yeah, 1-0. Yeah.
We were nice and toasty in here, as you can tell. That's why we like home field advantage.
Yeah.
So certainly appreciate that. So we always bring you up. First question is always first thoughts, in terms of the victory. I know you're going to say you're grateful. We weren't looking forward to anything else to Hooker, but, just initial thoughts here on tonight's game.
I thought Dibble's kids played hard. Coach Norman does a good job over there, and I thought his kid. I thought they had a plan, at least that was different than what we'd seen on film, which is good. Because we're way different than everybody that they've played, so it was interesting to see kind of what their plan was. I thought offensively we were pretty efficient. We just didn't have the ball very much in the first half.
We didn't.
But I thought we were kind of careless with the ball, turned it over a couple times, and. Other than the one drive Dibble had, I thought our defense played pretty well. We had some bonehead penalties, even from me in the second half. But I thought we were pretty good, especially for the first round of the playoffs. And I know our kids are probably a lot like us, and they're looking forward to next week. And so it's nice to get this one out of the way, and now we can turn our attention to the Bulldogs.
Hooker Bulldogs. I want to say Horny Toads.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talked about that first half. It was, essentially 6 possessions for the Cashion Wildcats, 2 of those ending in fumbles, in essence, but certainly taking care of it. Landon Lagasse had we expect him to get that, 42-yard bomb, and he got that in the first half, but he also had 2 pick sixes. Was that in the books for tonight?
We've been spending a little bit of time, with our secondary guys and trying to get them to maybe be a little bit better at understanding, what people like to do. I think there are times this year where we were just, kind of guessing and trying to just play coverage and not really understanding what Dibble's favorite pass concepts are, or what, Tonkawa's are, or whoever. So I hope, anyway, we're getting a little bit better at that. The one pick six, I think we had 2 other chances to pick it off, and they had a chance to catch it before it got to him. But I thought, the hitch route over there that he picked and took to the house, he did the same thing kind of last week against Crescent. So, he's not one I'd pick on if I was going to pick on somebody.
Well, in terms of kudos to the defense and Coach Wood, they did. The Demons had 9 possessions in the first half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them ended in punt. One of them was at the half, and then you had 2 interceptions. You're right. They just had that one drive where they got that touchdown. And,
we get a roughing the passer penalty on a reverse. Or it's what third and
20. Yeah, it was third a lot. Yeah.
So those things happen in high school football games, and. I thought our kids played pretty well overall.
So in terms of just expectations before we move on to Hooker and maybe talking about the rest of the playoffs, no significant injuries. You got to rest your players in basically the second half. Kudos to your JV squad. They came out there and they held their own for an entire half.
And I'll give Coach Norman credit too at Dibble. He pulled off too. He saw that we did, and he put his younger kids in there, which is awesome. I got them an opportunity to play in a playoff game. I wish more people would do that against our second team, but you can kind of see a little bit. When they play kids that are their age and probably practice about as much as they do, then we can hold our own when we throw our freshmen out there against other people's juniors and seniors. A lot of times we struggle, but it was great for those guys to get in and get some playing time and get some experience in a playoff game.
Hey, Drew, I have one more question for Coach. Before you get anything,
no, you're good.
I see that there was 21 total penalties called tonight.
Yeah.
We collect these cards. There's some names that are familiar, some guys that I've seen before, and some guys that I don't. I know playoff selections for officials, and we love our officials, right? We know we can't have a game without them, and we know that they don't wake up saying, how am I going to screw the Cashion Wildcats? Right. But does your coaching preparation or your approach, does it change in the playoffs? Do you feel like the officiating is different in the playoffs?
Well, you know, the way it's supposed to work is they get rated, you know, throughout the year and throughout the years, and then the higher the rating, the better playoff games that they get. You know, this year with the shortage of officials, and it's the first round of the playoffs, so, you know, half the state's playing football games tonight. I think almost every crew that was available to call a football game called a game tonight. That's not a knock on these guys. We had these guys in Stillwater last year. I don't know that we had all of them, but the majority of them. And I'm sure everybody walked out of that game thinking they were great because everybody was fired up because we beat Stillwater, or Stillwater's JV. So, there are things about officials that bug me. One of them is like when before every game, I have conversations with the officials, and they always ask me, "Is there something that you'd like for us to know?" And I always, when we play a home game, talk about our sideline.
Shallows.
And yes, and I talk about how we used to be 8-man, and now we're 11-man, and we didn't do anything different to the field when we went from 8-man to 11-man. So our sideline is really, really tight. We have cheerleaders that are over there. We have managers. We have young kids. We have, freshmen that are standing over there. And there is a chance at some point in the game that we might be on the field. And I always tell them, look, we'll get out of your way. We'll be behind you. If you hit us, if you feel like you're in danger, whatever, throw a flag. If you tell us to get back and nobody moves, yes, flag us. And always they're like, Coach, we understand, yada, yada, yada. And then we always get, some guy that wants to give me the, that's a point of emphasis and that's a rule. And, what bothers me is there's 22 anywhere between 15 and 18-year-old boys out there playing a football game. And when you're way more concerned about the 44-year-old guy standing on the sideline than you are the 17-year-old out there.
I've never understood the sideline rule.
Those are and now I get it. I mean, there's been some officials that have been injured running down the sideline, and they run into coaches. And I get that, but that was also 7-8 years ago before this thing was implemented. And coaches are more in tune with where officials are. And like us, for example, I mean, I get on the field to call a play. I'm always behind the official when I do that. Tony calls his defensive calls. He's always behind the official when that happens. The odds of us being, turnovers happen, fumbles happen, interceptions happen, whatever. But,
well, do you feel like from a situation that there maybe because these are crews that may not be used to Cashion or whatever the case may be, do you feel like that in the playoffs, do you feel like there's a heightened sense? I mean, again, 21 penalties tonight.
And I'll be honest with you. I mean, a lot of them were legit. I mean, there were face mask penalties, and there were personal foul penalties, and there was those things are fine. It's just certain officials pick hills to die on that I don't understand.
All right. Well, we won't let you die on that one then. So, Drew, anything else before we move on to playoffs and Hooker and anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I won't blow my whole question load for next week. But, I mean, Hooker, obviously, they're a couple of the guys I noticed from doing the Pay Dirt show last week. Their quarterback is huge. He's, I think, 6'3" or 6'4". They have a wide receiver that's
6'8",
6'8", something like that. So, two pretty athletic kids. And he likes to sling it around. I know he shut the Pay Dirt show off last week thinking, okay, Hooker's got this in the bag, or Fairview's got this in the bag, then Hooker threw a 97-yard touchdown.
Right.
So I mean, there's just some things there to.
Yeah, no, they're completely different than anybody that we play. They're a little bit like us in kind of what they like to do. So, we played them last year. Our plan will be a little bit different than it was last year, just because we don't have the same kids that we had last year. But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a challenge. The quarterback's really good. I mean, he's big and can hang in the pocket and gets rid of the ball fast. And the thing that I think will be the biggest challenge for us is be something you guys can kind of watch for. If we're doing a good job after they run their route. So in other words, if they run a hitch and they don't get the ball, to me that's when Hooker's at their best, because their wideouts are really good about just kind of playing a little bit of backyard football and just getting open, and he can stand back there and see everything, and he's got a strong arm, and they just kind of play a little bit of backyard stuff. So that'll be big for us, is to not only take away what he really wants to do initially, but then to be able to cover long enough to where we can get to him. So I think if we can do that, then if we can get him off the field a couple times, I think we'll be okay. I think offensively, I haven't spent a whole bunch of time on him, but I think we'll be able to move the ball and score some points, and so we'll see how it goes. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an electric atmosphere. I know.
Oh yeah, and they'll show up.
They'll travel.
Oh,
They
yeah.
travel well.
Yeah, they'll travel, and they'll have their hooker television. They have a streaming broadcast as
Oh
well.
yeah,
They'll be here.
oh yeah.
And
They'll have
so,
their cowbells and air horns.
And they'll be looking for revenge after what
Yeah.
happened last year.
Yeah, sure.
From that standpoint, we talked about some of the games tonight. We had Hinton going down to Ringling. I think that was
a tough draw for Hinton. I thought that they
Yeah.
played us. They had a good game plan for Cashion, and they unfortunately just couldn't hold their own against Ringling.
Well,
Let's see if I can find
their
that.
biggest problem is they just can't score. I mean, I think defensively they're really good, but
Which they scored 13 on Ringling.
Yeah, but you get behind when you're them, and I mean if they had one of Tonkawa's skill kids, they'd be scary. But
Tonkawa ended up winning pretty
Tonkawa
easily
ended up
tonight
beating
over
Wayne. There really wasn't anybody in the scores that were coming in the first round that surprised me. I mean, Tonkawa won, Fairview won, Stroud won. Let me go.
Did OCA end up winning?
Ringling won. Morrison won.
Did OCA win?
Let me go back up here to that one. OCA lost to Elmore City
man.
Parnell. They were tied, or they were down by 6 at one point, and then Elmore City Parnell scored 42.
Okay.
Oh.
So the
42 to 20 is that final.
District went 2-2, I guess, here in the first round.
Yeah.
So.
Other than that, I mean, Pawhuska beat Hominy 43 to 12. So
yeah, I kind of figured there were two of Pawhuska's kids didn't play the first time they played them.
So, Coach, we moved to round 2, another home game. You've earned it. So, preparation this week, does it change? Do you do anything differently?
We'll bring them in Sunday, I think at 5:30. If it's nice, we might come out and do some stuff. If nothing else, just kind of implement our, kind of how we're going to line up to them, just so we can eliminate that part from, practice on Monday, so we can kind of speed that up. But it's like I said last week. I mean, it'll be a whole bunch of film. I don't want to call it a walkthrough when we're at practice, but we're not just going to go out there and do the Oklahoma drill on Monday. But
I hope not.
but it'll be hour and a half on the grass and 45 minutes in the film room, and just kind of go from there.
All right, fantastic. Drew, anything else for Coach?
Nope. I mean, I guess we were kind of looking ahead. Of course, we like to do that up here when we're.
We get to do that. You don't get to do that.
We get to do that, but I mean, looking ahead, everything goes perfectly, and everybody does what we think that they'll probably do. It looks like we may have to go to Gore round 3, which isn't a terrible drive.
Nah, Gore's beautiful.
Yeah,
down there
by 10 kilos.
My mom and dad are Gore Pirate graduates, so
there you go.
I've spent some time at Gore. But no, it really, I think them and Woodland will be a war anyway. But if we do go to Gore, their football field's pretty cool. It like sits down and trees all around it, and it's a pretty cool atmosphere. So it'll be fun, So if we're fortunate enough to do that.
Yeah, for sure. But as far as Rough Rider night goes, I think the overall consensus was it was a good success.
Yeah,
the paw looks fantastic.
Yeah,
I think it's great. I think it's something we might kind of build on a little bit if we can, and maybe, there's some schools out there that do like military appreciation nights throughout the year. Their second home game is, or third home game, or whatever. That might be something that we kind of do and kind of implement this into that, and continue to honor the guy our town's named after. And that's the conversation I have with the kids today is, I want to do this because I want to honor our veterans, which is amazing on Veterans Day to be able to do that. But also, I mean, we're named after a guy that is, probably one of the more famous, people that died in a war ever.
Yeah.
So why not celebrate that? Why not make that, like Quentin Thorpe, who's one of our, assistants, who grew up here, spent his whole life in Cashion, played football here, and had no idea who Roy Cashion was or what happened, or so we failed Quentin along the way somehow, and we don't need to fail any more of these kids. They need to know, when they graduate from Cashion, they understand, what that name on the side of your helmet means and what it actually stands for. And so it's something we're going to keep doing, and we'll try to make it bigger and better as we move on.
All right, fantastic. All right, Coach. So, any last thoughts before we let you go home and enjoy your another playoff victory?
Yeah, no, I got to go home, go to bed. I got to get up and go cheer on our cheerleaders in the morning.
That's right.
And more, right?
Yeah,
That's right. So,
yeah, I think 9:20. So,
yeah.
I think it's a 7:30 departure time for Mr. Jackson's house. So. Yeah, it'll be good. Hopefully they'll do
so
great.
best of luck to Coach Hopgood and Williams on that.
Yeah.
Hopefully they've finished no less than 4th, and so hopefully you guys will be able to bring home. Is it a cheerleading megaphone. What is it?
I think it's either a plaque or a trophy.
I believe it's a trophy.
Sure. All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Bring home the first place trophy.
Hardware.
The hardware.
Yes,
there.
the
Thank you very
hardware.
much. All right. So Chris Gibson had to take off, but for Drew and Coach Shackelford, we appreciate you guys joining us. We'll check stats. I know that we had about 8,500 watching at Crescent, and we know the numbers continue to climb as Cashion Wildcats play in the playoffs as more people want to see what's going on down here in western Oklahoma. So we appreciate you guys joining us. We appreciate all of our great sponsors that have supported us through this, making this a free opportunity for you to follow along. And we definitely hope this is a long ride for the Cashion football team as we're expecting it's back to Ryson. Is it Ryson or Richardson Stadium. It's not Watland anymore, but
Paycom.
Paycom trying to get the third straight trip to the state title. So for us, again, appreciate you guys joining us as the Cashion Wildcats again move to 10-1 with the 48-14 win over the Dibble Demons. Go Cats and God bless.